we talk is money, honey. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees to the honey. Honey, money, honey, money, honey. It's the SOSCAST, baby.
All right, whoa. Okay, Hawk Tuah.
Wake up.
Sorry, guys, we had to do it. Welcome to the SOSCAST, the sexiest financial show in the world. Today we're talking finance, romance. Hawk Tuah is taking over the freaking world. I didn't want to even talk about it. I've been pushing it away. It's not something that I even wanted to discuss. Then yesterday, Natalya said, listen, I got something. What? We got to talk about it.
I said this.
You said it. So did your sister. Joe Rogan's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. We're going to have to address all these stories, these allegations. We can't avoid it. So, you know, they say you got to lean into it, right, Sarah?
Right.
You could do it, put your back into it type of a thing.
Absolutely.
You have to. We're talking about here today, Hawk Tuah, and everything that means, not even so much in this woman's life, in all of our lives. Brandon, I know that, you know, this is something you've been researching. You're an advocate. Oh, yeah. Geopolitics.
Definitely.
You know, I wasn't sure if it was a Native American slang, what's going on here, if it's Urban Dictionary. Now has it in there. We'll talk about that in a second. But all that and then some, how it affects your life, your money, your relationships. Literally, Hawk Tuah is taking over the world.
I'm scared.
Dear God.
Not scared. That's right. Scared. Dear God. That's also part of it. Anyway, with that being said, welcome to the SOSCAST on Valuetainment. My name's Adam Sosnick. Here, like back in the day, Nat, our goal, our objective, our mission is to help you guys out there get paid, laid, and do it your way. The old school type of thing.
Yeah.
Today, I have some friends with me. Usually we say ladies first, but there's only one man in the audience with me, and that's Brandon Aceto.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, Brandon. You've become a regular right now.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
You know, true to Brandon, he said, listen, when are you going to have me on the show? A year ago, I said, wait your turn, buddy. Wait your turn. Now he's been on like 5 times in the last month or two. He's crushing it. Geopolitics, macroeconomics. He's smart. He's sweet. He's salty. Oh. And he Hawk Tuahs that thing.
No, that part's not true.
That's not true whatsoever. Anyway, thank you for being here, Brandon. Lovely ladies back with us. Sarah's back with us.
Hello.
Sarah Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Social media agency.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Traveled the world. Took on a little credit card debt. Just paying it off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
See, we're changing lives over here.
Yep.
Hawk Tuah. Anyway, I'm not going to stop saying that.
Oh my God.
Our good friend Dina Cruz is back. Comedian, mother,
yes,
lovely.
Thank
Last
you.
time you were here, I feel like girls were crying on the show.
Yeah,
We were.
it was a crier.
I learned a lot about
session.
my audience that day.
You did.
I did.
Right? I did too.
Respect to you guys. You know what I learned about my audience?
Too.
They don't give a shit about women's feelings.
Shit.
Hell no.
I was like, oh, like me?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a guy's guy, but also, you know, I have a sister, I have a mother, I have a grandmother. I don't know. Most of you guys have mothers. I don't know how it works out there for you people.
You're girls.
Most of you
girls
do.
too, huh?
Girls.
I like girls. I don't hate girls.
Yeah.
So when girls are going through
crazy.
cathartic moments, like, oh my God, I'm like, oh shit, I gave the girl a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Adam's like, the people in the audience, look at this gay ass motherfucker. Hugging girls.
So hard to suck it
Hugging,
up.
crying girls. Rub some dirt on it, bitch. Like, wow.
She just got her ass
happening?
rocked.
Yeah, she just-
like, it's not good.
Listen, what was Diddy's girl?
It was Diddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
yeah.
reacting.
What
to
was
the
his
whole
girl
Diddy.
called? Cassie?
Cassie, yeah.
Put some dirt on it, Cassie. It's like, oh my God.
crazy.
So,
She
needs
gentlemen, you can be a man's man without being a piece of shit to women. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know that.
It's wild.
Girls kind of like it when you're
nice.
You know, I don't say nice.
No.
Nice is not. It's
polite.
Respectful.
kind. Kind. You can be kind,
That's
Yeah.
true.
but not nice. Too nice. No
Exactly.
more Mr. Nice Guy. I've ever read that book out there. Nobody wants to do a nice guy.
Yeah, nobody likes
But
that.
a kind, empathetic guy, like know the difference, guys.
I agree.
Because a tough guy, you know, the tough guy act will wear thin after a while.
Well, it wasn't the guys
Yeah.
that bothered me. It was more so the women in the comments. Like, that'll never be me until it's you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like.
Well, Hawk Tuah all over that ass. Girl. I mean, anyways, I'm sorry. We're having these guys, you know.
Guys, leave in the chat how many times you can count
just
that
saying.
said
That
this
Autumn
episode.
said
I was a stand-up comedian. So I'm
Drinking
really
game.
confused.
gonna be
Everyone
Anyway.
watching
Yeah.
the show, take a shot.
Take a
when
shot.
someone says Hawk Tuah.
I'm on day 65 of
Drink some water
75 hard, not drinking, but
Okay.
anyway,
Good
that.
deal.
We have a newcomer to the show, the lovely, the talented Kailey Yates in the house. Woo woo. Hi. Last time I saw you was at the white party
Yes.
with Michael Sartain and Rolo and the crew and everything down there. What do you do for work? You're in wealth management? I don't know.
No, so I actually switched up. So I'm taking a new role this month. I'm going to be an executive assistant for a company I was working bottle service for. Traditionally, my background is healthcare. And then I went into finance because I was like, why not? Like, try something new. Hated it. And then I like kind of found my way. I was like, let me get back into bottle service. Let me like figure that out. And it's like a long-winded thing, but you know, I'm excited. I think it'll be great for me.
So you're working for the company you did bottle service for?
Yeah. So it'll be like putting together and managing events like the company's trio. And so it'll be like Music Week and Art Basel and like probably events like the white party that we went to, like stuff like that.
Nice.
So
well, send an invite.
yeah,
Hope it's not lost in the
got
mail.
you guys.
Hawk Tuah. Anyway, it's not going to stop, guys. I'm telling you. But then after this, last but not least, certainly not least, our friend Shay's in the house. Shay Arnold.
What's
That's the last name. Hey, Arnold.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold, there she is. My favorite stripper, not the type of stripper you think that I'm talking about. Stripper, when I'm talking about stripper, I'm talking about saving, tackling debt, retirement planning, investing, and planning for the future. STRIP. Speaking of stripping, stripping down all the hate from the comments, Natalya Dellvalle
Yes, I'm
is
here
in the house.
with my clothes
Put
on.
an L in the chat. With your clothes on. Put an L in the chat if you love Nat.
We love you too. Awesome. Well, happy
Nat,
SOSCAST
what
Day.
did we learn about haters yesterday?
Haters, they only come from below. They never come from above. Make sure you
right.
guys check out that episode. But yeah, happy SOSCAST Day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today's going to be super, super fun. I think what we're covering is going to be quite entertaining. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff below. So tune in. Count in the chat today how many times you hear this term. What is it, Adam?
I forgot it already.
Hawk Tuah. Yeah, count in the chat how many times you hear it today.
I'm not going to be the only one screaming Hawk Tuah. The ladies,
I know you're not.
You're going to have to help me out here at one point.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks, Nat. Thanks to you guys for being here. As your first time being here, welcome to the Hawk Tuah SOSCAST episode. Only here on Valuetainment. If you're a longtime listener, you know that this is not Hawk Tuah what we're talking about, but it's a new episode. We're having fun today. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. By the way,
You're one
if
away.
you need business advice, financial advice, networking, relationships, just life advice, you can find me and many others, Patrick, Brett, David, Vinny,
I'm
Tom,
on
the
there.
Biz Doc, Nat, everyone on Manect.
Yep.
Nat, I am how many Manects away from 2,000 at this point?
Let me count.
Yesterday, you failed this test when I was at 1996.
You're one away?
Are you sure about that answer?
I think so.
Shit.
Think so.
One away from Manect. By the way, whoever becomes the 2,000th Manect, the next Manect I get, extra special for you. I will watch it on my phone. The next person I get a Manect from, bingo bango, extra special Manect.
Will you guys Hulu and Hawk Tuah?
We will Hawk Tuah in your house.
Damn.
I don't think so.
Extra spicy. Anyway, wow. In the house. Thank you, Jake, for that. Guys, you ready to start the show?
Let's start.
do it.
Let's do it.
Before we start the show, can I get a Hawk Tuah from everybody?
Hawk
Tuah. There it is. Hawk Tuah.
Brandon's sounded a
Brandon
little
was allowed.
aggressive.
Okay. So there it was. There's a trend taking over the internet. I tried to avoid it. It's an internet sensation.
Yeah.
It is taken over the world, and it's sort of a sign of the times of where we're at today. That this girl, this being, this lovely person, just haphazardly became the internet's favorite person. And if you're not familiar with what's going on here, you're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
This is what's going on here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to SOSCAST. Welcome to Valuetainment. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the world. Hawk Tuah girl, aka Mrs. Hawk. Put a little respect on Mrs. Hawk's name. If you're not, is anybody on the show not familiar with this story at all? Unbelievable.
Good.
I mean, we've had shows where I've asked, like, hey, did anybody not hear about Diddy? One girl's like, no, who's Diddy? Like,
Yeah. We've had
everybody's heard about Hawk Tuah. Unbelievable.
crazy.
Anyway, shout out to Barstool's 1 Minute Man, Kevin Clancy, breaking it all down for us. Go ahead. Welcome, Hawk Tuah girl. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, it is my job as the 1 Minute Man to do three things. A, report on the news. 2, report on what's happening on the internet. And D, bridge the generation gap between old and young so that we're all on the same page. Sometimes this will just be a slice of life, a current event, something that comes and goes. And then there's other times where I am delivering to you an iconic piece of history, where I am showing you someone cementing themselves in the pop culture zeitgeist for the rest of time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is without further ado that I present to you the Hawk Tuah girl.
There's only one I want. I love you, Pookie, forever.
How do you get over a breakup?
Only way to get over one is get under another. Beat the cobwebs off this thing.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah.
This video is an instant classic. It harkens back to a time like the Girls Gone Wild era, where somehow it looks like this was made in the 90s and 2000s, where people would just troll bars, asking girls questions, and they would answer them freely because they didn't think they were going to end up on the internet for all to see. They just thought they were going to end up on a VHS that cost $9.99 if you call 1-800-946-6688. But Hawk Tuah girl? She's absolutely everywhere, with the weirdos of the world searching every corner of the internet to try to find her. But if I may be so bold, I say leave her alone. We don't need to find Hawk Tuah girl. We don't need to know her name. We don't need to know where she works. We don't need to know where she lives. Just let her forever be Hawk Tuah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Let her be, let her go, let her know. Don't look for her. Yeah, not so fast. The world took over. The internet sensation Hawk Tuah girl had to be found. She must be found. They put MacGyver on it. They put Inspector Gadget on it. They said, we got to find this freaking girl. And they found her. They located Hawk Tuah girl. And she has a name. One thing that he said was it harkens back to a days, you guys are probably too young for this, me and my old age. Nah, maybe Dina, where Girls Gone Wild was a thing, where girls would do these salacious interviews and maybe, just maybe, would end up on a VHS tape. And back in college, we were out there, oh my God. And Joe Francis, they would do these late night infomercials. It was not a thing.
Yeah.
But Joe Francis, this guy made so much money on it. His house in Mexico one time. That's a whole nother story. Hawk Tuah. Shout out to you, Joe Francis. But this was pre-internet, where you didn't have to worry about these things living forever. Now, of course, despite the Kevin Clancy saying, don't leave her alone, don't find her, don't worry. Of course they found her. And listen, what is going on with her now? This harkens back to a day where you would not end up on the internet, but yet, there she blows, literally. We found her. Here's a TikTok video. Breaking news. Found was Mrs. Hawk Tuah girl. Check this out.
Massive update on Miss Hawk has emerged. The full interview with Miss Hawk has been officially released, showing her alongside several friends. New remarks made during the interview can be found at Tim and DTV, the two interviewers of Miss Hawk. However, following the interview snippets that made Miss Hawk America's viral, Miss Hawk was dismissed from her job as a preschool teacher. Many suggest that Miss Hawk addressed the situation through her own social media, leveraging the fame she has garnered. She has become a national treasure, with even notable broadcasters like Joe Rogan discussing her interview. Although Miss Hawk doesn't have any social media accounts, she was recently seen selling merchandise with a merchant who promised to give her a percentage of the sales.
Listen to this.
These photos, taken near Nashville, Tennessee, confirm that she resides in the state. Rumors suggest that Miss Hawk has already made over $500,000 from her share of the merchandise sales. As of now, there is speculation that Ms. Hawk may come forward for a second interview following her job loss. She is reportedly seeking to file against the preschool director.
Okay, so a lot of stories, a lot of allegations. This is where I want to open it up for the panel right now. Just a couple quick facts. National treasure, check, maybe. I don't know. Is she a hero? Is she a heroic? Is she a villain? We'll find out. Joe Rogan did talk about her. By the way, if you go on, this is how quick this happened. I don't know, a week ago? This is how quickly things move. By the way, who's got your vote in 2024? How about Hawk Tuah 2024, a.k.a. Spit on that thing right now. This is merch. This is merch she's selling out there. Supposedly, allegedly, who knows, $500,000. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen anybody. People are saying Hawk Tuah 2024. We'll find out. Allegedly fired as a preschool teacher. This is who's raising your kids. Oh my God. That's right. Yeah. By the way, things move quick in America, as you know. Sarah, Dina, Kailey. All right. Hey, Urban Dictionary's got her now.
Stop.
I don't know. Nat, would you help me out? I can't read so good.
It says Hawk Tuah to spit on that thing.
Oh my God. By the way, keep scrolling down because, sometimes on Urban Dictionary, there's different definitions of different things. Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, a sound you make when you're about to collect your saliva and spit it out.
Yes. Hawk Tuah. Nat, what is it called again?
Hawk Tuah. You gotta spit on that thing.
Okay. And Shay, I can't read this last one. What's that word?
An onomatopoeia that describes the act of spitting on your partner's genitals to provide lubricant.
Shay, by the way, respect. Clap it up for Shay. Onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia. See you later. Anyway.
Spit on that
last
thing.
little fun fact. and this is what I want to turn it over to the lovely panel. Spit on the thing. It's just funny to say. Trump, Biden, 2024. Spit on that thing. Let's see what happens.
I feel like
there has multiple songs been made.
There's multiple. There's actually one that's pretty good.
She needs to make her own.
Did you hear what I just said? By the way, exactly.
They're gonna mix it into like a house song.
They are.
Yeah.
By
Be
DJ
like, you know?
Bijou, he mixed one.
Oh God.
Actually, the first clip I saw was the music version. And then I started seeing the actual clip everywhere.
Oh God.
But they got a few bangers out there. I'm not gonna
By the
lie.
way,
I really do.
I'm doing this research now. When did I even start looking into this entire thing?
Yesterday.
Took
You
over my
got
life.
in the car and it was an hour
It's raining.
drive
It's in
home.
Miami. It's driving. I'm like, what is
keep
the
hearing
hell?
that.
And it
By the
just
way, I
started
find a
raining Hawk
song.
Tuahs?
This fucking investigator. It wasn't even raining. It was Hawk Tuah just spitting everywhere. Shout out to Dina. By the way, I find a song. I go, can you believe it? She goes, that's not even the good one. She finds a country version of Hawk Tuah. Hawk to the left.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
I want to have a conversation of really where this is all is heading. Is the fame and the attention worth it for this girl? Last thing, here's an article right here that just came out. You talk about talent. Hollywood talent agencies are now apparently contacting the girl. You know who UTA is? United Talent Agencies.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest talent agencies in the world. There's William Morris, UTA,
CAA.
contacting her, CAA, contacting her because apparently, AKA, they want her to Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing and sign her to a deal. Anyway, ladies, she's turning heads and she's giving head. This apparently is what's going on here. I want to know if this is the type of fame that is worth it. Is this the type of attention that is worth it? Hold up your little signs, red and green. Hold them up high. You know what? Red and green, like $500,000. UTA, the attention, Hawk Tuah. Green, it is all worth it for this girl. If it were you, red, hell to the nah. Put them up high.
But
Go
what
ahead.
kind of worth are we talking?
I don't
We talking dollars or we talking like?
Guys, we'll
I know.
have the
Can I just?
Yes, because I want to do this.
So maybe,
Right
maybe
now.
not.
I want to do this like right in the middle.
Same.
You're saying green.
I'm like mainly green, but also
Mainly green. Shay, red.
Both.
Red or?
She's a thumbs up and a red
Yeah,
thumbs
like
down.
both. She's in the middle. She's just like the rest
She's
of us.
50-50 in it.
Yeah, I feel like this is 50-50.
Okay, Nat, we're going to have to debrief before the show. I don't want to have to explain to girls on another show what a thumb up and thumb down is. It's the 10th show in a row.
Yeah, but you're
where-
asking girls who are probably the most indecisive
Gentlemen,
creatures
gentlemen,
for a
exactly.
decision.
Remember what I'm dealing with.
I want to eat.
I said I want to be able to figure out a way how to get girls' opinions without belaboring the point. I said, let's get a green thumb and a red thumb, and how could it go wrong? This is what's going on here. All right, Sarah, since you're so indecisive, is it all worth it, the fame, the attention, to be known as the Hawk Tuah girl?
Okay, so yes and no, and I'm saying yes and no only because do we remember how embarrassing like the Cash Me Outside girl was? But then like all of that attention and fame, like she turned it into something like normal and genuine and like went from there with it. So it's like it really depends how she's going to take the fame and how she's going to behave with it, and will she be able to like capitalize on her attention and like put it out into like longevity? Because if she can, then like yes, this is kind of like embarrassing in the meantime. Like I would be embarrassed if this was me right off the rip. However, if you can capitalize that into something like respectable and like making a name for yourself in the long game of it, then it's not really that bad. But if she doesn't, it's like, was it worth it to like lose your job and almost be embarrassing for like to be 2 weeks of like internet viral? Then like no. So it just really depends how she plays it.
Gotcha. Dina, what about you? You're pretty usually decisive. You were still indecisive.
Well,
on this one.
for me, it would be a no. Me.
Yeah.
But that's because I have a kid who's going to see it and like whatever. But if I was her, yeah, I mean, sure, whatever.
Okay. And
Monetize
how old's your
off
daughter?
of what you, 15.
15.
So that's why for me,
how old do you
it
think
would
this girl
be
is, by
no.
the way,
Like
ladies?
probably 20 something.
Okay, what happens if this was your daughter?
If it was my daughter,
Yeah.
I mean, what are
At
you gonna
18 plus.
What are you gonna do? You know,
Would you
I mean,
capitalize on it,
I
or
know.
would you
look,
like
okay,
shut
look,
her up?
I'm not gonna be a hypocrite, right? We've all been 20 something. We've all done like stupid things. We've all said stupid things. I'm a stand-up comedian. I say stupid shit all the time. I'll say something stupid tonight. Like, you know what I mean? So
I'm gonna spit on that thing tonight. On the mic. On the mic.
No, but that I can't be a hypocrite either.
Yeah.
I feel like kids know when you're hypocritical. And the relationship that I have with my kid is I'm very honest with her, like about everything. Like I've talked to my daughter about everything.
So if this hit the internet, you saw your daughter all over the internet like this, what's your reaction?
I mean, if UTA wants to sign her, then we're going to go where the money's coming from, and we're going to go that route.
We got Kris Jenner over here, the Hawk Tuah version. Respect to you.
Yes, I am. Nobody works harder than her.
Okay.
You know?
The devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder.
That's right. Okay, Kailey, how about you?
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Again, I think she said it beautifully, and so did you. Like, just talking about like how she takes it, like, you know, like she could throw it all away and just be known as that, kind of like a one-hit wonder, and like do nothing with it. But like we've all kind of said embarrassing things, and it could be so much worse. You know, people like take it and run with it. You know, like it's very lighthearted. I'm sure we've all said like worse things in our life, and you know, monetizing Kris Jenner, hello, like come on.
Okay. And just to be clear, Kris Jenner monetized, what does it say here? Her daughter's sex tape.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Just
As long as she doesn't go that far.
I know.
Like,
for the whole family.
Look at that.
That's worse than
I was part of that empire for a minute. I know.
For the wedding.
Shay, how about you? Because I think you gave a double thumbs up.
Yeah, I gave a 1 up and 1 down because it's like the same thing. I agree with the ladies over there. It's like she getting money from it. She probably getting paid more than what she was as a teacher, but then again, she was somebody's teacher, so it's kind of like, oh.
So, I mean, how slippery is the slope? Because I know girls that make money from OnlyFans. She get money from it, and they're not teachers anymore. I know girls that strip, not your kind of strip, but strip. They make money from it. So where's the line between all right versus nah, I can't do that?
I mean, she only said Hawk Tuah though, so I think she's okay.
Shay, give Miss Hawk a little respect. She didn't just say, "Hi guys, I Hawk Tuah."
She said, "Spit on that."
Thing.
That's all she said though. So green for me.
Okay, Nat. Before I go over to the gentleman on the panel, go ahead. Can I? By the way, just real quick, let me see your best Hawk Tuah. Come on, Shay.
That's not ladylike.
Dina.
I can't top that. I can't top that shit. She had a whole.
Nobody's got a Hawk Tuah here.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Brandon, let's see your best Hawk Tuah.
She set the standard.
Hawk Tuah.
Yeah.
Brandon, I'm letting you nowhere near me.
He's trying to be cute.
Alejandra, how you doing? ¿Cómo se dice Hawk Tuah en español? Oh my God! Yes, tú sabes Hawk Tuah. Natalya, yes, no, green. You're still one of the girls that can't figure out red versus green.
Yes, hopefully. I think since it's already done, capitalize on it. If it wasn't done, I wouldn't incentivize young kids, girls, people to go on the internet and say some bizarre things, because then it's permanent. So it's not something that I would incentivize people to go do, but since it's already done and people are already looking to monetize and make money on it, I say capitalize on it. It's different than monetizing your daughter's sex tape.
I understand the concept of like what's done is done.
Exactly. Yeah.
So can you reverse what's already been done? Like when the two girls, one blunt girls come on here, love those girls, great girls. They're doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
They're doing it. I'm like, they're like, should I quit? I was like, you already fucking did it. Like, what's done it? Like what's the one famous Palestinian
Mia Khalifa.
This fucking chick. She like did porn for I don't know a handful of months, went viral, it's everywhere. You think she's ever gonna live that down? Nope. I don't know why. Now she's turning into a feminist. Like bitch, you're on the internet Hawk Tuahing everybody I know. So internet is forever. Brandon,
yes.
How do you process this as a man?
Yeah, so I think it's a blessing for this girl this happened because think of $500,000. That's 12 years of a teacher salary, $40,000, and jobs like that where you're in a union, you're shackled into that like a prisoner because the deal is if you're in for 20 years, I believe, or 40 years, then that's how you get your pension. But if you quit before that, then you're screwed. So you're kind of like locked into that, and if God forbid you hate that job, you're like a kind of a form of a prisoner. And if she actually did make $500,000 from this, which who knows if she actually did, but that's 12 years of her salary, and if she's smart, she could probably make twice that amount within a month, and it's probably going to be like an afterthought within a month anyway.
Yeah, but
so
is
it just all about the money?
Yeah, is $100,000 worth your identity? Hey, you're Hawk Tuah, girl, right?
Like, is she more or less free now than she was before?
No,
like,
for sure. For sure. Okay, she gets a chunk of money, but was it that chunk of money worth being that title?
I think if she loved her job and is sad to lose it, then maybe it's not worth it. But if she hated her job and felt like she like had to do, like a lot of people do, then it's worth it. Because like a real tragedy of society is because of government policy and stuff we don't need to get into. It's really difficult to live on an average income, and you really have to work yourself to death until you're 80 years old on most average salaries. So she alleviated herself from this total accidental thing that. If she plays it smartly, it could be a blessing. But it says a lot about our society that went viral. And I almost think it's a psyop to a degree that went viral.
Interesting.
Should she get her job back?
We're going to find out what happened with her job. Just a couple final thoughts before we move on to the next topic. Here's what I'll say. It's the same thing that I say with girls who are going to do OnlyFans or whether guys are going to do drug dealing, whatever it is. Oh. Think long and hard before you enter this, because once you start doing it... You can't reverse this curse.
Yeah, it's Pandora's
box. It's Pandora's box. So, what happens is you get drunk. You lose all your inhibitions. Dude in the camera, believe how many times have I done man on the street stuff? I was just in Bourbon Street a few months ago. I mean, the white trashiness that you find out in Bourbon Street, incredible. People will say anything on camera. I'm interviewing this girl one time. She's like, "Yeah, I'm a stripper." I'm like, "Oh, who's this? Who's this? Oh, it's my dad. Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, I approve. She pays my rent." It's like,
okay.
So, but once you start doing things on camera, this thing is forever. So I would say, before someone approaches you with the camera, just think long and hard of is this worth it in the end? Only she's going to have that answer for this. Now, we've seen women, like you talked about, capitalizing on this. Whether it's, you talked about the Cash Me Outside girl, whether it's Kim Kardashian, whether it's Pamela Anderson. If you catch lightning in a bottle, you kind of have to capitalize on it, because what's done is done. Yeah. National treasure, Joe Rogan's talking about her. I heard that in the debate between Biden and Trump, they're going to ask this question and see who can spit on it better, Trump or Biden. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, God.
But this is what's happening in America today. It's sort of a tale of where we're at today. So you guys let me know. Worth it, not worth it for a Hawk Tuah girl to earn this fame. Here's where I actually want to go with this. We're talking about whether it's worth it or not worth it. We're all putting it in the perspective of, what would you do if you were her? What would you do if you were her? Well, she's got family. She's got, what are those people that bring you into this world called?
Parents.
Oh, parents? So she got a daddy.
Yeah.
And she got a mama.
Poor guy.
And one of the most famous dads in America today, who used to be a absolute savage, is now saying, hold on. If this were my daughter, I would be completely embarrassed. And that man is called Howard Stern.
Wow.
This is what Howard Stern had to say about Hawk Tuah girl. He said it would be, quote unquote, every dad's worst nightmare. Let's play the clip.
Audio check. At the bottom. There you go.
I was wondering if you heard of that Hawk Tuah girl that's gone viral.
How could you avoid her? I mean, I'm on Instagram not that much, but the Hawk Tuah girl is every other clip is the Hawk Tuah girl. And I think if I'm analyzing it, the reason people like it so much, the girl, first of all, is so uninhibited. And it's just so natural when she says it. It's like she didn't even think about it.
No, that's her move.
And then as a dad myself of 3 girls, that's every father's worst nightmare to see her on Instagram going, yeah, you got to on that fucking thing.
Did you see my daughter on Instagram?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, my kid is Insta famous. She's the Hawk Tuah girl.
Okay. So that is a dad's perspective. Brandon, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's not the father's worst nightmare. How about seeing his daughter getting DP'd on a Pornhub website? That's a much worse nightmare. Or God forbid, getting sexually assaulted, or even transitioning into a guy. Those are all much worse scenarios than this quick viral sensation that changes her life monetarily.
Yeah, Hawk Tuah.
Yeah.
That's right. 2020 Brandon.
Okay, Kailey. Guys, let's play a game here.
Oh, no.
You become the Hawk Tuah girl. Your dad calls you. Honey, I just saw something. This is a hypothetical. Walk me through this conversation of what your dad says to you and what you say to your dad. Go ahead.
Wow.
Hey, Dad.
Hi. So there's this internet thing going on, and
I saw it already.
Okay, cool. So we have nothing to talk about.
No, we do.
It was just a lighthearted, thing to talk about, something silly.
Yeah.
It's got 100 million views.
All my friends and my family, and by the way, your grandmother saw it as well. They're not too lighthearted about it. What do you want me to do with it? You've embarrassed me and the family, Mrs. Hawk.
I think we can get through it, honestly.
Yeah?
We can sit in a therapy session. We can talk about it, but it's not that big of a deal.
Therapy is tough.
Okay. That's and scene. There it was right there. All right, Shay.
Are you the daddy?
I'm the dad.
Okay.
Call me daddy. I'm Papa Hawk. Papa Hawk. Papa Hawk called you. Shay, ring, ring. Shay, we need to talk. It's Papa Hawk.
I'm going to be like, Mom did it too, so.
Your
mother did what?
Yeah, your mama, she good. That's why I married that bitch. But she didn't do it on camera, and that's the big difference.
I mean,
why would you do it on camera, Mrs. Shay?
We just talked about it.
Why would you do it on camera?
camera? I didn't do it.
You were thinking
That's an important
Maybe,
distinction.
I don't know.
Yes.
I said it on camera. I didn't do it on camera.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Interesting. Okay. Well said. Dina, ring, ring on this thing.
What's up, Daddy Tuah?
Color respect on that, too. What do you say? Dina, we got to talk here. Where's your dad from?
My dad's the Dominican one.
Okay, Dina, we do need necesito hablar. Okay, necesito hablar. ¿Qué ocurrió con la Hawk Tuah en la televisión, en la social media? ¿Qué tú haces? Tú eres loca.
Tú tienes una hija. No. Again, my situation is kind of a little different. I'm a stand-up comedian. So my parents are
north. I'm your daddy. I know that you do comedy.
Yeah,
this is not a joke.
I talk about
this is not a joke.
That stuff all the time.
You're no longer mi hija.
But here's my thing about the whole thing.
Yes.
What makes me sad about it is, it's true. Like, this is such a prime example of like the state of like our world is in, like old Hollywood, you used to be famous as a byproduct of some sort of talent that you had. And now people are just becoming famous and then figuring out what the talent is later. So we're so screwed up.
That's a really good point, by the way. Yeah. You find the fame and then you back into the talent.
Exactly.
It's like we've seen this with TikTok. You've done stand-up comedy. These TikTokers blow up. And then they have to be like, oh shit, dude, you've got 10 million on TikTok. You do all these funny skits. Go become a stand-up comedian. And they get on stage and they're like,
and they can't do it.
Have you seen Ryan Garcia try to do stand-up the other day?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
terrible.
He just literally put the mic down and started boxing. They're like, no, that's not.
That's
hilarious.
Wrong stage.
No.
Wrong stage.
And you've done stand-up. I've done stand-up. It ain't easy. And when you find the fame before you find the talent, things that get real ugly.
Yeah.
Hawk Tuah. Anyway, so... What's the bottom line?
I mean, I have those conversations with my parents now.
So where do you see this girl where do you see this girl backing into the fame?
I think her best bet is just a merch standpoint. And if she signs with UTA, I'm pretty sure they're going to capitalize off of it as much as they can.
Pornhub.
Send her to brands.
Or
sell her to different brands.
Yeah. Do you have indigestion?
Yeah.
Maybe hydration IV. Maybe
she'll get a deal with Pornhub. She'll teach them on set. You got to put on it.
Yeah.
But say, okay, so Sarah just brought up a good point. Maybe she'll get a deal with Pornhub. So now the fame has led her. This was a fucking kindergarten teacher.
I mean, I said hydration IV, but
this was a preschool teacher a week ago. Now we're like, girl, you got to get your ass on Pornhub and teach all them hoes. Like, this is a very slippery slope here.
Poor girl.
I mean, let's be honest though. Most people become teachers just because they don't have any other option to become a teacher.
Easy.
Yeah.
So I would much rather that she be the Hawk Tuah girl than be my kid's preschool teacher all day. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, Sarah, ring, ring. It's Dad. Where's your dad from?
Ohio.
Hey, Sarah, it's Dad. I've been seeing on the interweb that you're Hawk Tuahing, a.k.a. spitting on that thing.
What the hell?
Yeah, Dad. It was just a joke. Just a funny joke.
Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Hawk Tuah.
My dad's not like on social media, so I don't even think we
But
would
no,
have
seriously,
this
what would your
phone call.
dad say? Like, walk me through an actual conversation.
My dad would probably be like, "What the hell, honey?" And my stepdad would be like, "Kiddo, like, it's a little embarrassing." But then
what would you say?
He would laugh and think it's funny. Like, my stepdad's sharing Hawk Tuah memes all day on Facebook.
Your dad's sliding in Hawk Tuah. Hawk Tuah girls DMs. Hey.
I don't know.
All right.
Honestly, I don't think my family is just like, ugh, so like they wouldn't care.
Alejandra.
Oh boy.
What would your papi say to you?
I'm so bad under pressure, like giving answers, so I will be freaking out. But so my answer will be like the random one, but it will be like, well, they were gonna forget about it just in a few days, so just forget about it now, and we are good.
Yeah, in a few days. Hey, by the way, it's the most viral thing in the world.
Yes.
Hija.
I know, but it's gonna be on the internet forever. But they are gonna forget about that soon.
Yeah, but you know who's not going to forget about it, chica? Daddy. And mommy. And abuela. And las tías. And a tías. And your entire familia.
Oh, he's going to bring up
You used to be my little angel. Now you're my little Hawk Tuah spit on it, girl.
But I'm making money, so it's
okay. This is where it is. It's all about the money. This is why they say there's a decline in traditional values in America. We no longer value family. We no longer value religion as much. Community involvement, religion, patriotism. But it's all about that money. Yep. Listen, I'm all about the money too, but at what expense? And I'm not judging. But it's just a sign of the times. Anyway, last but not least, Natalya, I saved the best for last because I know your dad. I mean, this guy pulled me aside one time to talk about my politics. And I'm like, you're not even my fucking dad, bro. Hey, we gotta have a conversation. Oh, do you like communism? No, not at all. Oh, do you like a socialism? Not even a little bit. So we're gonna talk about what you're voting for. I'm like, who are you? I'm Natalya's papi. I'm like, I don't even know who Natalya is. Like, that's how.
That day, yeah.
Anyway, your dad, Marvin.
No,
what a guy. What would he say to you?
He'd call me. He'd start off with a big sigh like,
Tuah.
Sweetheart. And then he would kind of just go into like, he always asks, so what happened? I would just tell him like, listen, it was a bad mistake. It was a drunk night. I said something on the internet and now it's on the internet. And then I would probably start crying and say, what do I do? How do I fix this? What happens next?
I'm going to be honest.
And then he'd probably
that sounds like my conversation.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, all right, well, let's figure it out. And then I would say, do I capitalize on it and make money?
I talked to my investment advisor.
Yeah, it would kind of go down like that. And then my mom would be very disappointed. She'd be like, Natalya, I didn't raise you like this. I invested you to go to school. I raised you to be a proper lady, and you spitting on the internet?
My mom will be like that and crying.
Okay, so that's a good question. Who would be more upset, your mom or your dad?
I think my mom would be more emotionally upset. I think my dad would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I agree. Yeah, my mom.
Your mom?
Sure.
What about you? I mean, you said your dad would be cool with it. He sure
my
my
conversation
are
would go
more
like,
let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Women are like, oh my God, my daughter's identity.
My dad would be like,
okay.
what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And then he would be like, well,
Kailey,
what do you
how
do
about
now?
you? Who'd be more upset, mom or dad?
I think mom, but I feel like they just be like, wow, you're kind of like stupid for that. But like, they wouldn't really see too much harm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They disown you?
Shay,
you gotta
mom,
give
dad?
Dad.
Okay.
I think dad. Because his little girls, you know.
Yeah, it's so
thing.
funny because I'm thinking as a man, I didn't even think about the mom.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what would your dad say? Like
but the mom.
Because the number one job of a dad is to keep his girl off the pole.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm like the mom. Like who cares? But it's interesting.
The daughter's representation of the mom. So when you have a girl like that behaving, you're like, okay, so what does the mom?
What do you mean by
that?
the daughter's a representation of the mom?
So I mean, think about it. The daughter. When you see a daughter, you think, okay, well, who raised you? It was your dad. That's gonna obviously show you the protection, the man side of it, but the steps that you follow, who you want to be, who's your inspiration is your mom.
Ooh.
So, you have her saying, Hawk Tuah, and then you're like, okay, what does the mom look like? What does she
That's
do?
a really great point because as I'm going through this search to find my Hawk Tuah girl in my life, someone said something very interesting to me. He said, just the way that the girl that you're hanging out with now, that's the way that your potential daughter will act in the future.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, I do not want my daughter acting like this girl I'm hanging out with. She's fun, but this is not how I want my daughter. But it's a very good point.
The Hawk Tuah keep a husband.
But
Just saying.
great point. And here's the point. There used to be a famous saying, I'm looking for a girl who's a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. Now it's turning into she's just a freak in every street, in every,
everybody knows.
She's just everywhere in the sheets, in the streets. She's Hawk Tuahing all over your friends. She was a preschool teacher. Now she's teaching OnlyFans girls how to Hawk Tuah that thing. Hey, y'all. But I think it's just a sign of the times. And I think, parents, Will Smith, his first song that became famous for was a song called Parents Just Don't Understand. I would like to know how much the parents understand about what's going on in today's society with the internet and Hawk Tuah on this thing. Anyway, moving right along.
See how this ends up.
Yeah. So this begs a question because, we talk about finance, we talk about romance, we're talking about Hawk Tuah all over this place. The bigger question now is Hawk Tuah girl an asset or a liability? In the investment world, an asset versus liability is what you have to basically distinguish between how to allocate your money and your funds, right? Are you investing in appreciating assets that grow over time or liabilities that basically cost you money? So, I'm going to do an impression, so brace for it. In Japanese culture, we made fun of the Indians yesterday. I said, anybody can get it, Jews too. In Japanese culture, they say, you have brought a great shame to the family. And so I'm wondering if this girl is an asset or a liability at this point, right? So an asset obviously increases economic value, but liability decreases, and basically it's end up expenditures. By the way, do you know there's another definition for liability in the zeitgeist and nomenclature? Can anybody give me the other definition of what a liability is?
Brandon?
No.
Right, yeah.
A risk?
Okay, that's the financial terminology. I'm saying in the regular world.
Is there another world?
A person who causes
Mistake?
behavior, a person whose behavior causes great embarrassment. Like, you ever been seen you're drunk or you're like, yo, you a fucking liability.
Yeah.
Like, you're staying home.
But I would still consider that a risk. Like, that person's a risk. I don't want to be responsible for them.
Risky business.
Yeah.
So asset or liability. So we're going to have a conversation right now about whether it's Hawk Tuah girl or any girl. Like, the conversations that we hear, like, what do you bring into the table? What's the famous thing? Bitch, I am the table. It's like,
God.
all right, well, then get down on all fours so I can eat some things. You've heard this thing before. Here's some conversations that we're going to have about assets versus liabilities. By the way, here's a tweet. Nat, if you can help me read this.
Yes, it says, women are generally a liability, not an asset, which is why you don't focus on them when you have nothing and wish to become something. Anyone who expects you to provide for them and needs you to guide/lead them is by definition a liability. A man has to establish himself first. And he's responding to Truth for Men. And that response is to advice to young men in their 20s, focus on building your business/career.
Totally agree with that.
Yes.
With focusing on
building.
As a man, focus on building purpose over pleasure, purpose over poo-tang. But a lot of times, women can be a liability. But sometimes you men out there, I've seen you're fucking liabilities too to yourselves.
Yes.
Here's a video from this woman, and then I want the panel weigh in on assets versus liabilities and what makes you an asset and what potentially makes most women liabilities. Go ahead.
Your wife to just be cute and that's it. Stop making your wife believe that the only thing she got to do is open up her legs and that makes everything right. It may make your feelings right for a short period of time, but a true helpmate helps out beyond physical looks. A willing, capable, and able woman is what every great man deserves. You cannot do it all. You will burn yourself out faster than the speed of light if you're trying to do it all and you don't have the type of woman that is willing, able, and capable of helping out both outside and inside of the house. Certain things, yes, a woman cannot physically do, but things that she is able to do, set the boundaries and allow her and teach her how to do things so that you can take breaks in the middle of what you're doing to provide for her. Stop enabling and crippling these women. It's nothing wrong with a woman getting outside and cutting some daggone grass here and then. It's nothing wrong with a woman helping you screw some light bulbs in here and there. It's nothing wrong with a woman handing you a hammer when you need one. It's nothing wrong with a woman helping you to change the tire, handing you the tire, or rolling you over the tire while you putting it on. Start making these women do some work around this house. Or else you're going to be really great. You're going to be burned out. You can't do it all.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, she got the girl out there changing tires.
Nah, he can absolutely.
I've done it before. Okay, so I want to know, female ladies, because I don't want this to be a reflection on yourself, but feel free to say where you think you're at. But I actually want to know about most women. Do you think that most women are an asset or a liability, especially the prettier that they are? So, how many girls that you know would you classify as an asset versus a liability? What are your thoughts?
Are we talking in terms of like a relationship?
Bring into a relationship. Are they expecting a man to do pretty much everything, or women bring what? Essentially, the question is, what's a woman bringing to the table? Like, what percentage of the bills would you want to pay in a relationship? If you're living with a guy, are you splitting the rent? You want him to pay for everything, and if he is paying for everything, what are you doing? You don't have any kids. Now, by the way, it's a big difference if you have kids. So it's like,
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that me and my friends pretty much think the same way on this topic, and we're all pretty set on like, I think a man should be a provider, but I think that a woman should be doing things. I feel like there's two sides to a relationship, and in that partnership, you both have responsibilities to keep each other like intact and bring something to that relationship. And men really should be providers, but like women should be like, I hate when women have the mindset of like their man should just be waiting on them around the house. Like, and if they want something to drink, the man should be running to the kitchen to get them. And like,
Who has that type of mindset?
Okay, my cousin and her boyfriend are like this. And like she's like snapping her fingers to get him like to running to grab her something. But they like split everything financially 50-50. So like whatever, to each their own.
Pause.
That's probably why she did that.
So
there it goes.
I don't need her name. How old are they?
He is 32 or 3. She is 25.
Okay.
Wow. That's bad.
Bossing his ass around.
He's 32.
They're both a little bummy.
They're a little what?
Bummy. Kaylee.
Bummy?
No.
What does bummy mean?
They're bums.
Okay.
No. Oh, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it's
That
starting to make
makes
sense.
then.
He's 32. She's 25. They split everything 50-50? Okay.
Wow.
She makes more money than him too.
Wow.
Oh, okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's the issue. Like,
Yeah, that's the issue there.
That's why
What's
she
the
don't
issue?
respect
I just
him.
feel like if she's not only the breadwinner and like he's not feeling like he needs to elevate to her level or go
Or pass
surpass that, like I would be like, listen, like you're my assistant. Like, I'm gonna feel like I'm daddy, like I'm the man, and like it would just make me lose interest. It would make me not want to be with that person. Maybe some little resentment. Like I think definitely you should be in relationships where you elevate each other and be on the same level. But like by like the book, like it's nicer to have like for me as a woman, have a man be above me and make me soft. I don't want to be above you. Like I think I do good, but like I could do better. Please don't be below me.
So
like,
you always talk about the ick.
Yeah.
big time.
Talk about the
big
financial
ick, yeah.
ick. What's the financial ick if you're above him financially or even ambition wise? You get the ick?
Ambition and financial for sure. I just
Yeah.
feel like you should definitely like at least be on my level or like make me want to do better, because then I just like complacency. I don't know. It's just like comfort.
I mean, this is hypergamy 101 right now, but it's you get an ick when a guy's just bumming around. You call him bummy?
It feels bummy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would want, like there are things that I like enjoy doing that I would like doing to like make, like when I have a man in the future, a husband, whatever, like that I would like to make his life easier by doing. And just like there's things that you should know to do at home and even like outside of the house too. Like I don't have a problem helping with anything. And there's things that like I would never want my partner to have to like ask me like, can you please do the laundry or something? Like I feel like that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Especially if they are providing for you and taking care of everything. Then like why wouldn't you just as a woman go above
So
and
walk me through the
beyond?
mindset of a girl. So like I'm just having this image of your cousin, whatever, just this whole thing. And he goes and gets her some shit, the water or a drink or whatever.
That's
crazy. That is the most disrespect. Like, by the way, I wouldn't do that to a girl that I'm dating.
No.
But if I did, it'd be a joke. Okay, and I haven't made a girl pay for anything in fucking 15 fucking years.
So I'm gonna say,
and I wouldn't treat a girl. So why would a girl? So when a girl is splitting the bill, I mean, I'm talking about splitting the bills. That is just like, there's probably something in there like membrane. I was like, oh, this motherfucker can't provide.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking care of him.
She's in charge.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you gonna say?
He's a placeholder.
He's a placeholder.
No, they're married.
He's a
Oh.
placeholder.
Yeah,
they're
I don't care. I don't care how
What does that mean,
married
a
they are.
placeholder?
I don't care what they have. He's a placeholder.
What does that mean?
The second someone shows up and has a little bit more than he does and she's comfortable, she's gone.
Wow.
I
He's a
think
placeholder all day.
in most case scenarios, yes. But like, if you came from like the area that I came from, and like, if you just knew the mentality of these like people, like especially these two, like they ain't going nowhere, and they're perfect for each other
you'd
because
be
they're
surprised.
they're both very like victim mentality of like, why me? Sad
Is she
story.
attractive?
No.
Oh.
So that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. She's a
Okay.
placeholder. He's a placeholder. She settled
she's
for
not
what.
attractive.
No. That's what I'm saying. She settled for what she could get. If she was to work
Yeah.
out, like I don't know what the case is, but if she was to work out, if she was to focus a little less on having someone that'll just give her the little bit of help or whatever, because that's what she saw. She didn't see like, oh, this man is like whatever. She saw, okay, I'll have a little bit less bills with this guy, and I get an assistant on top of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know what she looks like. I don't know whatever. But if she was to have a little bit higher of a self-esteem, worked out a little bit more, buddy would be gone
So
in a
in this
heartbeat.
relationship, who's the asset? Who's the liability? To kind of bring it back
They're
to this.
both
Are they both
liabilities.
just liabilities?
They're both
double liability,
liabilities.
just double debt, double
Yeah,
losers?
for sure.
Double wide trailer?
Yeah.
Shit.
Me airing out
Definitely
my
no Hawk
family's
Tuah
dirty
going on
laundry.
there.
Oh, there-
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, fam.
if he actually, does he have any chance of reversing the disrespect?
Of course he does
Meaning,
with someone else.
You think he does? With someone else, not with her.
No.
It's done for.
It's done for.
Yeah.
She already
Once
has
you cross
that
line, once
idea.
you know you can boss a man around,
Yeah.
you're done.
Listen, Adam,
You're done. Run, man, run.
Yes, absolutely.
Once a girl
Look,
knows
me
she
that
can
one.
boss a man around and she can get things out of just disrespect,
Like,
run, man,
me
run.
for
Get out
one.
there. Because once you know you're able to talk to a man at a certain level and you're able to get a response
will never
from that,
go
they're
back.
gonna always talk to you at that level. It's vice versa as well. If men know if I text her at 2 a.m, she'll still sleep with me. They're gonna keep getting texts at 2 a.m.
Think about it. I've never re-respected anyone in my
It's like
life.
a boundaries thing.
Like ever.
Yeah, it's like a boundaries thing. Like once you cross that, you
It's
break down
late.
those boundaries. You let them like slip
Exactly.
That's
aside. You
why
let
a
them out the
man
window. It's
must
done.
stomp out disrespect, bad attitudes, poor manners.
I mean, both ways.
Immediately.
Both ways.
This is
Both
called a
ways.
G-check.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, how many times, Brandon, you're about to be 30, you're going to realize, because you're coming into your own right now, but, I mean, and not that you're not capable of it, but as you become a guy who has money, access, network, everything, you're going to get in an area where you're going to be dealing with different caliber of women. And these women, they're hotter, they're around richer people,
they're smarter.
they're more entitled, and all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, I can treat this man how I treat, I'm talking about 9s and 10s, all these types of girls.
Yeah.
They can think, and excuse me? Like,
Yeah,
Adam doesn't.
Okay.
you will learn
Like,
to act right.
the
real
best
quick.
thing a man can do, this is what they call frame in the red pill world. No, like when you say, once you disrespect a man and he takes it, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to stomp that out immediately.
Yeah,
100%.
Because you know what? It's not even so much for her, because you're going to go home that night and you're going to be like, bro, I can't believe I let that girl fucking completely disrespect me.
Yeah.
Talk to that other dude, like just
Bossy.
spend all my money, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's the most emasculating feelings. It just, and I'd rather just be like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll never talk to you again, bye.
Yeah.
And lose a potential girl than lose my own ego and lose my own self.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
Yeah, Adam doesn't put up with that.
Yeah, no.
You've G-checked me kindly a few times when we first started working together.
Really?
Yes, you have. But I needed it. And now we work together. And now we know how to communicate.
Because women will test you.
Yeah, of course.
Don't you think women will
All
test you?
women do. All
Men
women
and
test
men
every
and
man.
women.
Yes.
Both of us do that.
I don't know if men test women.
Yes,
like
they do.
that.
Yes, they
Matt
do.
just gave you a great
Test the
example.
waters a little
Alejandra, what are you going to say?
They do it. You guys test women.
Of
Yeah,
course, all
time.
day.
I've been to dates that they are asking things, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a pub quiz. What is this?
Yeah.
Vetted all the time.
So you say men will test you more sexually.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll
Oh,
test
I
the
was
waters with boundaries too. Like,
Yeah.
think about
far they
how
can
many
go.
women, like girls, have been like dating a guy or like seeing a guy. They went on a couple of dates and like they'll want to like hit you up at the end of their night
Yeah.
after whatever. It's like,
Or they'll
oh, okay, I wasn't good
ghost
enough
you.
to go
Or
out
they'll
with you for
ghost
the
you a few
evening,
times.
but
That's happened.
And wait
Okay.
till you respond.
We're
Like,
like,
oh, well,
all-
she still responds if I ignore her for 3 days
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Like,
So
I'll give you a
guys test the
story.
girls.
I'll give you a
Yeah.
story on how someone recently tested me. So I matched with this guy on Hinge, right? And I'm literally, my Hinge is just for the jokes. Like nobody ever gets my number, nothing like that.
What do you mean just for the jokes?
Yeah, like I use it for punchlines. But anyways,
This is why. What's the term that we talked about the other day? How people have dating app fatigue?
No, but I literally
you're just out
post
here
it
for the
on
jokes.
there. I'm very open. I literally say it on my profile. But obviously, I am single, so every once in a while, one of them, streams through.
Next to the level.
Yeah. So I
we
was
got to
like,
Hawk Tuah that thing every once in a while.
guy,
I know.
Nice guy. Maybe I might want to Hawk Tuah later. So I'm like, let me give him my number.
Yeah.
Gets my number, texts me 1 or 2 times, then goes complete ghost for a whole month.
Oh.
And out of nowhere, texts me and is like, hey, what's up? I didn't answer.
Yeah.
Now he's on my Instagram sending me messages on this, on that. Like, why? Because you're trying to test a boundary. He's like, oh, I didn't even think it was that bad. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing the inconsistency.
Yeah.
Like,
Communications are really
you were
So,
consistent for a moment and then you disappeared.
We kind of deviated from the point, which were
right. You're testing a boundary to see if.
But I want to
gonna
get back to the
answer,
asset and liability thing. I want to know what makes most girls, like we just went down to White Trashville out here talking about.
You're welcome.
Shay, what do you think makes most women an asset versus a liability?
Ooh.
Being able to be, I gotta be careful what I say. I'm not that smart.
Yes, you are.
I am. I is smart. I is kind.
See, they like to play stupid, and then they just stalk at you.
You're smart.
I mean, she got to be helpful, not just like around the house, but you got to be helpful when a man is stressing from his business or like whatever he have going on. Like, you can't just be fine. You can't just be beautiful. Like, you need to do
Why can't
more.
you just be fine and beautiful?
You got to, because men need women. We bring something that y'all can't bring. We have like that emotional balance. Not balance, I'm lying, because we be a wreck. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Other than Hawk Tuah, what else are you bringing to the table here? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, the goal is
a
to
helping
bring
hand.
peace.
I
as
feel
a
like
woman.
as
a
a
woman,
woman,
your goal
literally
is to
peace.
remove the stress from the man's life, and through doing that, there's like a sense of like satisfaction as a woman. You're like, you can see your man being relieved of stress. If that's coming home to a clean house, you're coming home and he's enjoying his food. Like there's a level
Eat your food.
peace. There's a level of peace that women do bring that then they don't become a liability. They become an asset because now things are done for you. Laundry's done, food is cooked.
He can focus more on
You
his
can go
business.
focus on what you have to focus on.
Yeah, I
But
think that if you're like stressing your man out at home, in addition to the stress he already has in the outside world, like
Just
that's
making
when
it
you
worse.
would
Oh my
really be a
God.
liability.
Yeah.
Ugh, yes.
That's
Because
the
like
ick.
they want to come home and be
Yes.
like, yeah, that would be like the man's ick. It's like,
Shut
oh,
up,
they want to
bitch.
come
Yeah.
home after a long
Nobody
day.
wants to be
They
nice.
want a hot meal, a clean house, and a little
Yeah.
Hawk Tuah, you know? So,
You're talking too much.
Kailey, what makes you or girls an asset versus a liability? The hotter the girl is, I think the way that she has a little bit more wiggle room to think that she can just not have to work as much, not have to do as much. What are your thoughts?
I think but also like the man, that's also like the man allowing that, like the entitlement. Like girls will show up exactly what you mentioned earlier. Like they're either gonna come entitled or they're gonna come like humble. So like if you're allowing this stuff, they'll just like
Keep going.
They're gonna run with it.
yeah,
so
they'll take it and run.
it's kind of like contingent on like your boundaries in your relationship, what you want. Like what I might see as a liability, someone might not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you mean
Yeah.
if someone might see as a liability, some might not?
Like in terms of like if a man is like very comfortable with like, oh, I want my girl to like literally never work a day in her life and like, just look pretty every day and like do this and do that, like that's what he wants. Like some people are actually okay with that.
Yeah.
If you met a guy who's just obviously successful and he's like, listen, you're on my team now. You work for me. You don't have to do anything.
Which is cool.
You
but
know,
like
I just need you to do kind of whatever I need you to do, whatever around the house, whatever. How willing are you to do something like that?
I think me personally, like it sounds like great. Like all throw up, you're like, oh my God, I have to do nothing. Like I just get to be pretty. That's so cool. But I would be personally so bored because like I would need some purpose, like for my days, for my schedule, for my week, for my life. Like I'm not just like your little Barbie doll arm candy. And like I've literally dated men where like I had like a conversation like this recently where I was just like, oh, it's nice the things that we do and stuff like that, but I'm not just arm candy. So like you either step up and you like make me like a partner and like actually like let's work towards something good. And like, if it were to be like a marriage situation, like, that's a whole different dynamic. But like, I don't want to just be like a pawn to you, you know?
Where
Personally.
are you from?
Me, I'm from Atlanta.
You're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good. Have you noticed, and you're from, you said Ohio?
Born and raised in Ohio, but I'm lived in Michigan. It was like 50-50
You're a Midwest
Ohio,
girl.
Michigan, yeah.
You're a good South girl. You're from Miami, right?
Yeah, well, I'm technically from New York. I'm
From New York.
bi-coastal. I'm a
And you grew up
bi-coastal.
down here?
I was raised in Virgin Islands, but I lived here
Virgin
for a while.
Islands.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you noticed girls in Miami have a little bit more, let's just say, leeway when it comes to doing stuff? Like in Atlanta or in the Midwest or even in New York, because girls work hard in New York. These girls are working. They're bringing something to the table, proverbially. Where I see a lot of girls in Miami, they're just like, I'm hot. I exist.
I think it's
Have
the
you
culture,
experienced
though.
more of that?
Yeah,
So
it's a
yeah.
cultural thing.
I think it's a
definitely the
cultural
culture.
thing.
What do you
For
mean?
me, like I literally I hustled since I was 12. People go to summer camp, I would literally nanny. Like I've like always had that mentality, and that's just like instilled in me.
But you have that. What about girls down here in Miami?
So here, like girls in Miami, like I remember when I was young and I was 16. Wow, that's young. Like 20,
Wow.
like 19, something like that, coming to
40 and
Miami
slip.
for the first time,
Yeah.
literally. Coming to Miami, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like you get like the free bottle service, the free dinners and stuff like that, but you're really, you know, like a pawn in the promoter game, whatever. But these kids growing up here, I think, at least from my perspective outside looking in, is like they're like, oh, I can get whatever I want because like I look a certain way or I hang around certain people. So like that is what they're like is normal to them. And then it just like gets progressively worse because like in Miami, you're gonna run into like the most like successful, rich, like celebrity people, and it just like escalates.
Yeah.
So like that entitlement just like grows. Like I feel like unless you have a backbone or something embedded in
You hit the nail on the head. You said the word entitlement. I've seen so much entitlement down here, whether it's the free drinks, whether it's the club, whether it's the dinners, whether it's the boats, whether it's the parties, whether it's the mansions. By the way, it's not just exclusive to Miami. It's pretty much in any big city. Fill in a big city and fill in what, you know, you're able to do right there.
Yeah.
And these girls get this entitlement mentality, and it usually happens in herds. Like, if a girl's a sort of a one-off, it's like, all right, she can, but she kind of like reversion to the mean. She's doing her own thing. When there's four girls and like, we want this.
Yeah.
You know, we want this. It's like, it's like, what's this we want thing?
Well,
They develop this mentality, and the reality is this: they will let that go as long as the guy goes, what do you mean we want? Like, what? You're not paying for anything. So why? Like, you don't really have a say in this conversation. Ultimately, they'll continue that until two things. Number one, the man G checks them, or number two, they're no longer young and hot enough to qualify for that type of entitlement, and that will be there when they hit the wall at some point. So that's why I respect girls like you who work, but also understand to balance bringing something to the table, but also using your beauty to capitalize on finding a meaningful relationship. What were you going to say, Dina?
Well, the reason why I say the cultural aspect is a real big thing in Miami is because we all know Miami's like a third world country, right? So as far as like background wise, like everyone from Miami is like from South America or from an island or something like that. And what's crazy about it is that in those countries, they've kind of gone through like a social change too, to where moms aren't being moms. They're just breeding their daughters to be like, okay, this is what you have to do to get a man that's rich and whatever, and this is how you have to behave, and this is what
They're
you
just
have to
breeding
look.
a bunch of Hawk Tuahs out there.
Yeah, it's true. Like in a lot of
Interesting.
Latin countries, that's what they bring them up to think. Like, go to Colombia. You know what I'm saying? And you see the mentality. I wasn't gonna put him out there like that, okay?
Well,
let him Hawk Tuah the bus.
I never felt what it was like to be a hot girl in Miami or in a club in New York, whatever, until I went to Colombia. And I went
like
with
the
my
reverse,
buddies and
right?
successful guys, and we walked into the club, and all of a sudden these girls are like, "Oh my God, look, hey, what's your name?" What? Like I was like, "Well, relax, what's going on here?"
Take it to America.
You hot girls, you gotta. It's actually weird. Or if you go to like the strip club in Miami, like 11 or something like that, every girl's grabbing you because they see, all right, this guy's got something. It's just like
They even grab the girls. I'm like, oh no.
ick.
Yeah.
They want
I
their
got
money.
sexually assaulted at my show yesterday. Whatever, that's another
Anyway,
story.
that's Hawk Tuah for a different time. But here's where I want to end this conversation. There is something called hoflation, where in Joe Biden's America today, talking about shrinkflation, where you're getting less bang for your buck. Hoflation is basically the female version of you're getting less bang for your buck, where men have to work 10 times harder to get a girl 10 times less good as mom was or as grandma was, because a lot of women, it's partially hypergamy, if you can look at this right here, women are hypergamous, but social media apps, dating apps have basically crushed the everyday man, and now they have to work twice as hard, 10 times as hard to qualify for just an average girl out there, because you know they say there's the K-shaped economy. You're familiar with this concept, where the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer. So the guys at the top of the dating market are getting all the
women
supply in the supply and demand microeconomic situation, and the demand for the young men out there is struggling. So Brandon, as a man, thoughts on hypergamy, hoflation, and shrinkflation, what's going on in the market these days in the dating game?
Are you feeling it?
Well, real quick, I wanted to address the assets and liability thing. So I think a definite asset is, when it comes to personality type, something I've been looking for is like, I'm like a much more action-oriented type person, but like lack organization. So, that's something I'm mindful of when I'm dating is somebody more like me or more like an offsetting strength, because if I've dated girls who are like more action oriented, like where they have boldness and everything the same way I do, but aren't as organized, and that's how I am. So I think I need somebody who's organized and can like offset that part of me that I'm like lacking in. So I think that's something that's an asset. And then when it comes to dating and stuff, I definitely see what you mean. Where like girls who are hotter like have that more entitled attitude, and like I've like burned stuff like that to the ground, like with what you're saying, but like not tolerating that, but. I see a lot of my friends like do tolerate it, and it's like a trap, because if you do tolerate it, it's like unthinkable for you to backtrack from that. Like you guys are saying, like once you let the precedent happen of like being spoken to a certain way, you can't really like get yourself out of that without nuking the situation.
Yeah.
So
hoflation, you're feeling it.
No.
Well, you said your friends are feeling it, meaning they'll put up with a bad attitude for what reason?
I mean, yeah, because it's like
Hawk Tuah. That is
because it's
shit for that Hawk Tuah.
It's like the longer my read on people is like the longer they're in something, like it feels like normal. Like yeah, but they feel like they've wasted all that time if they try to get out of it, so they just like put up with stuff.
How old are these guys?
Like late 20s and like
bro,
so
you got all the time in the world.
So many.
I want to piggyback.
How old are the girls?
Same age. Like 80% of my friends have gotten married in the past 3 years.
Who has more of an advantage, a guy in his late 20s or a girl in their late 20s?
A guy. For sure.
It's just about to get like switch in that guy's favor.
Yep.
Because the guy who's 29 and the girl who's 29, she's like, I've been this shit my whole life. And he's like, I ain't shit. I'm just becoming this shit. Like you, like when you're 40, like if you're dating a 29-year-old girl right now and you're just coming into your own, right? We all know you have political aspirations and everything all out there. Like by the time you're 40, you're gonna have more money. I know you work out. Like life's gonna be better. Look at you. Look at your boy. This is you right now. The 40-year-old girl down there, like if she's just a regular old girl who's relying on her looks, dude, kick it to the curb.
See ya.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Hawk Tuah.
Hawk Tuah. I don't know. I forgot now.
Anyway, Hawk Tuah.
You said you're gonna piggyback off.
Anyway,
what
but
I
the
said.
point is this:
Yeah, and I forget.
that a man, you'll put up with as much as you'll put up with until you get disrespected. And then at some point you're like, this is not worth it. You're becoming a complete liability to my life, and it's up to the man to be like, yeah, you're done. Type of a thing. But if you don't have a backbone, they're going to keep putting up with it. And as you said before, once you disrespect a man and he doesn't G-check you, what happens?
That's it.
Go back. That's it.
Yeah.
It keeps happening.
Never
I
re-respected.
was gonna say,
no one in my
I
life.
feel like the kind of men that are like putting up with that, it's like they have kind of like maybe a low self-worth in their head. Like they don't think that they have like looks or status or anything or whatever. Like they just feel really like poor inside, and maybe that's like like an inner type of something. But like I feel like the only people that really put up with disrespect like that on both sides is it's because they have like self-esteem
You're
issues.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll leave it. It's because they lack the abundance mentality.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh my God, this is the only girl I'm gonna get, and this is the hottest girl I'm gonna get,
Yeah.
and I'll put up with the disrespect, and this is okay, I guess. But if you're like, this bitch,
Yeah.
like, bro, you gotta go. I want to go find something better, like, because you have an abundance mentality.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the famous saying, when you're broke, you're desperate. When you're desperate, you're stupid. If you have no money, you're gonna, oh my God, I'll do anything for money.
Scram.
And all of a sudden you're doing stupid ass things because you have no money. But if you're like, oh my God, that's the only girl I can get, and that's the only thing I can get, it's the only thing I qualify for, it's like, I guess I'll put up with this nonsense. But once you say have more money, have more confidence, have a bigger network, have more status, then you're never gonna, and you have an abundant mentality, you're never gonna put up with that disrespect.
Yeah.
Period. Moving right along.
Drops mic.
Speaking of disrespect, this is actually an interesting,
snap.
interesting plot twist. So there's a musician out there, you might have heard of him. His name is Chris Brown.
Chris Brown?
And he sang a song one time called These
Jose Loyal.
Jose Loyal. Of course, Brett, none of you girls know that one?
Go ahead.
Dina, you like that thing?
I do. I did a
These
reel
Jose
with that
Loyal.
song.
Closer.
So, Chris Brown, he knows he's been talking about these Jose Loyal, but what happens if Chris Brown is the reason that these Jose Loyal?
You get what you get.
They paid to not be loyal.
Unbelievable.
Too, you know that, right?
Here's a situation right here where a boyfriend broke up with his girl for what he thought was some concerning activities, concerning behaviors after a Chris Brown meet and greet after a concert. Here's the photo that went viral. But more importantly, listen to her words. You let me know. Get your green and red ready because we're going to ask you about this. Here's Chris Brown proving that these ain't loyal. Go ahead.
This is from Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
Yep. Literally, after my picture went viral, my boyfriend broke up with me about a week later after arguing because he felt like Chris was too close on me. I'm just like, it's one of the most respectable pictures. It wasn't like I was bending over grabbing my ankles. But I would trade my ex for meeting Chris Brown 100 more times. So definitely really, really right there.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So she said I would break up with him 100 more times. A couple little quick things are right there. She said, I was respectable in the photo. There's the photo right there. And she said, quote unquote, it wasn't like I was grabbing my ankles. And then I think the last part she said, it wasn't like I was Hawk Tuah spitting on that thing. I don't know if she said that or not, but it was muffled. So here's what I want to know about you guys. This is her boyfriend. I don't know how long they were dating.
Leave her.
I don't know. Who's in the right and who's in the wrong? Green, he's in the right to break up with her. Red, he should not have broken up with her, and it was just an innocent photo. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Green, he's in the right. Red, she's in the right. Go ahead. Green. Oh,
It's looking like money.
my God. So everyone here thinks that he should have broke up with her.
Hell yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Definitely.
Should have broke up with her
That's
twice.
embarrassing.
Okay.
1,000
She didn't value
times.
him.
All right. Explain why you think he should have broke up with her.
She didn't value him or their relationship. Like, if it was something, I get, like, it is a photo, but, like, it is suggestive. And, like, also, like, she cares so much about a celebrity and, like, that photo and the fame that came up out of it than her relationship. They didn't have a conversation. She was just like, whatever, I'm done. Look, I have this to show. Like, Chris Brown does not give two fucks about her.
You don't even
Like,
know her.
and she just threw that away. And, like, there's ongoing other issues, but, like, the fact that you're so willing to walk away, like, all right.
It was done already.
Good for him, honestly. Good for him that this happened so he can get something
Level
better.
up.
Really?
Like, truly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Nat, what do you think?
No, yeah, Kailey hit right on the head. She doesn't respect him. I think especially when women today are in relationships, you have to be really careful when you meet the local celebrities around town because you are also a representation of your man. The way you act around a man is a representation of how your man allows you to, what he put up with. And so you have her, risking it all for Chris Brown for a photo and then to come back and be like, yeah, screw you, we're not together anymore. It's disrespectful. It doesn't value the man. And at the end of the day, she was going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And all your
You
friends.
think she was going to leave anyway?
Yeah.
Or cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Mindset, her
If Chris Brown
attitude.
would have said, hey,
Yeah.
come back to my bus.
In
She'd
2
been like,
seconds.
hey, we're done. I'll never talk to you again. I'm with him now.
Or she probably wouldn't even have said that. She probably
No,
just
she just would have went.
done it.
Would have went.
Yeah, for sure.
But still,
Okay. She
that
could have
would've-
done it for all we know.
That would have opened
Yeah.
the door into
probably did.
because here's
Yeah.
the thing: she went from dating a random guy to now getting called by Chris Brown. Guess what? Now her standards is higher. Oh, someone like Chris Brown wants to be with me. Oh, I would never date a guy that I was dating before because people like this want to hang out with me now. So now my new caliber of men is going to be these type of men.
Well, there's a term for that, and it's called getting alpha widowed. Basically, there's a big difference in a guy that will bang you versus a guy that will date
Either
you.
way, women.
No, it's not either way.
But women, when they sleep with a guy at a certain caliber, are you kidding me? gonna go back to the guy who works at Home Depot?
Correct.
No.
You are right. You're mostly right. But that doesn't mean that she's going to qualify to date the Chris Browns of the world or the Leonardo DiCaprio of the world. But in her mind, she's like, no, Chris Brown banged me.
Yeah, well, she
so I guess that's what
she pre-qualified because she entered into a realm of new caliber
what
of men.
most girls don't understand. I'm gonna listen, ladies, listen.
I want to piggyback.
Don't
off
talk.
Of this.
Listen. Stop piggybacking and listen.
Yeah.
Most attractive girls will qualify.
Yeah.
Earmuffs if you got kids to get banged out by any dude. I'm just letting you know. You guys all qualify for a dude to be like, yeah, I'll bang that chick.
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
Straight up.
Yeah. Sure.
But very few of you qualify to date, and I mean serious long-term dating or marry that dude that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So you're just being like, oh yeah, she thinks like that. Hold on. Yes. And now it is very hard for that girl to realize, oh wow, like, you know, Chris Brown, who's saying these hoes ain't loyal, maybe he's talking about me. Then maybe I should go back to his dressing room and be the girl that he's singing about. And then, because Chris Brown, he has seen. Think about what Chris Brown
He's
has
made a
seen.
lot of hoes not loyal.
You've seen a girl answer the phone. I'm letting you know. There's a little insight to what you see out there in the celebrity back room. Mm-hmm. A girl, 15 missed calls from the boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, who's calling? Oh, don't worry about that. And as you were saying, Hawk Tuah, anyway. Yeah. And he's thinking to himself, oh, man, I don't give a shit about this or whatever. But he's thinking, oh, my God, this girl is not answering her man's phone call to be with me, or not even with me, my homeboy. Not even Chris Brown, like just like
security guard or something.
Chris Brown over here, my fat boy. Right.
That's
and he's like, oh my God. But this is what's going to happen right there. So that girl that you're talking about right now, she thinks that she qualifies for Chris Brown. Yeah. She does. She qualifies to Hawk Tuah on Tuesday night.
Sure.
But she does not qualify to date. But now she's going to leave this dude who's actually maybe loyal, maybe a good dude. I have no clue. But she's going to give it all up. You know, she's going to risk it for the biscuit. So it's one of those things of what a girl qualifies for. You qualify for getting something, but do you qualify for getting a ring? Mm-hmm. That's the whole conversation right here. So you talked about you're glad that he broke up with her because clearly she didn't respect where he was at in this relationship. I know nothing about this guy, but you would advocate that if a girl takes a picture like that or puts it out right there, there's automatically some disrespect insinuated with it. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's like further like her, like the interview, like her just like in restating like, yeah, I'm so happy that happened. Like you're validating
just affirmed.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, the picture was enough, but then the audio after was like,
she just did not care.
Like, I would do it again.
Didn't have to do all that.
So she just like, she didn't respect him.
So
in any way,
here's my question for you guys. You know, they say that, you know, a girl, what she wants in a relationship is a man's meat, money, energy, attention, time, right? Strip. Whereas a man wants two things, respect and loyalty. Like, don't embarrass me. You're my girl, and you're out here Hawk Tuahing online with Chris Brown.
Spit on that thing.
There. Yep. So here's the question, ladies. This is what I want to go. So most guys are, let's just say you're an average dude. You're an average dude. You make 50 grand a year, maybe 100 grand a year. You're doing your thing. You're in decent shape. You're 5'10". Like, you're just a normal guy. You're doing your thing. Maybe you're above average.
Adam?
You're what?
Where's he at? I want to hug Tuah.
You want to hug? Dina's qualifying for that. So, you know, the one thing that he worries about is like, oh shit, my girl's going out. You know, unless you're some psychopath, you're not going to you're going to let your girl go out in public. And she runs into a celebrity. A tall, good-looking NBA player, football player, Chris Brown. How much risk does that guy have to worry about running into the Chris Browns of the world, and all of a sudden she's Hawk Tuahing on a Tuesday night? Like, walk me, like, do you see what the question I'm asking? Like, that dude, you know, girls are always looking for the BBD
to play into that.
The bigger, better deal. You think geography has?
Absolutely.
Okay,
sure.
Why?
Because you're more likely for that to happen in a city that we live in versus it happening like in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's rare for someone in, I don't know, McAllen, Texas to go outside and run into an NBA player.
I can't believe you're going to talk shit about my
in Miami. No, but in Miami, you literally just have to go to Whole Foods.
It's the big fish, small pond thing, or the small pond, small fish, the whole mentality. What's your experience in this?
I would agree. Like, I'm born and raised in the Midwest, and like things that I've done in Miami and experiences I've got to have, people I've got to meet, circles I've been into, like I would never have those opportunities.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, like never in a million
But
years.
a lot of girls will capitalize on those opportunities.
Of course.
So they'll come to Miami for a weekend, or New York for a weekend, or LA for a weekend, or Chicago, whatever it is, and they'll meet a Chris Brown type, and next thing you know, bingo bango, they go back to McAllen, Texas, and Chuck, their boyfriend, has no idea that they just were Hawk Tuahing on a celebrity.
I mean,
that's realistic, yes?
It is realistic, but I think it just depends, like, A, how strong is your relationship, and B, how much do you guys respect each other? Like, if no matter, like, where I was and who I met, like, if I had a partner that I seriously loved and respected and I was treated well and, like, happy with our relationship, like, the risk is not going to be greater than the reward in that scenario. Like, I wouldn't throw it all away because a Heat player is inviting me into their table at 11 and God forbid, whatever's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it.
So last question I want to understand here is, you said risk and reward. I get it, because it's investing. That's basically what it is. Like, the more that you risk, the higher the reward. The less that you risk, the less the reward. In this context, all right, she's in a relationship. It's twofold. How much she's really into the guy, and how big of a celebrity is the guy. You see what I'm asking?
No.
Okay.
But I do see what you're asking.
I think that's circumstantial.
I'm really into my boyfriend, but it's fucking David Beckham.
He's a good one.
All right, I kind of like my boyfriend, but it's the 15th player on the Heat bench. Well,
15th player.
You see what I'm saying?
15th is crazy.
How much you're into the guy versus how big the celebrity is, there's a difference.
I think there's a middle ground. I think it's self-respect.
Okay. Yeah.
It's you. It's like, okay, like take those two things aside, or like maybe mainly only focus on like the celebrity, like athletes especially the worst, but like celebrity in general, like they're probably not going to talk to you or see you ever again after this one night. So like, do you care beyond your relationship to like, you know, like how do you see yourself?
Though?
Some do.
Do girls know that they're about to just get Hawk Tuah and leave on a Tuesday? Or do they think in their mind, well, I could end up being this rapper's girlfriend.
Okay,
this NBA player's
so I
girlfriend.
think it goes back to the mom thing, right? Like, what were you raised to think? What were you raised to feel? What were you raised to do in that type of situation?
Or do you have daddy issues?
Because something that we're not even thinking about this whole Chris Brown thing is that she paid for that meet and greet.
Yeah.
Real good money,
Facts.
too. Those meet and greets cost thousands of dollars. So where was the intention prior to you even going to the
What do you
concert?
think her point was?
To break up.
Huh?
What do you think her point was?
She wanted to see how far she could get, to see if she could be the Hawk Tuah girl on a Tuesday night for Chris, way before she even went to that concert.
So, gentlemen,
the intention was there.
Message
prior.
to the gentlemen out there:
You know,
if your girl's paying good money for a meet and greet,
exactly,
you just show her the door already.
Yeah,
meet and greet her
that's
way
it.
out the door.
Imagine paying thousands of dollars to meet Chris Brown somewhere in Ohio when you could just like pop into 11 or some club in Vegas and meet him.
And I think men need to start realizing that, like, it's not the girl that you're gonna get when you're in the relationship. It's who was she before you got into the relationship, because that's gonna tell you exactly who she's gonna be the whole time.
If your girl about to run off with Chris Brown and be a hoe, she got to go. There it is. All right, moving right along. A couple more stories here. We got about a half hour left before we wrap up. Okay. Here we go. Elon Musk. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, love that guy.
Okay.
Never.
You know who that guy is?
Nope.
He's only the richest man in the world. But he's also trying to single-handedly repopulate the planet.
Yeah, let's
we all
go
know that
Elon.
There you go. You okay?
Yeah. Go Elon. Babies.
Now,
There's a lot of women that are Hawk Tuah on Elon.
She's like getting Marissa Tomei right now. Like your biological clock. Unbelievable. Anyways, Elon Musk is trying to single-handedly repopulate the planet. He's encouraging everybody to have babies, and he says, you know, don't do as I say, do as I do.
Oh.
By the way, do you know how many kids he had? He just welcomed
11.
baby number
11.
11? What do you think it is?
Or if you said just, it's 12 because I knew you had 11.
Bingo. He just welcomed baby number 12. Here it is right now. By the way, it is his third baby with Neuralink executive Siobhan Zillis. Ain't nobody knows baby mama's name. The baby was born actually earlier this year, but they didn't tell anybody about it. He said, while the public is just finding out, this is not a secret all our family and friends know. There was no press release, which would be actually kind of bizarre, is what he said. But I want to have a conversation about baby mamas, having kids, this whole situation, and what it would take. He's the richest man in the world. We all know that. He has 3 baby mamas. He has 12 kids now, apparently.
Lots of money.
His first wife, ready? Get your red and greens out. His first wife, Justine, was from 2000 to 2008. 6 kids. In the divorce settlement, she got $20 million. By the way, that was before he became a multi-billionaire. So imagine what this next girl could get. $20 million plus $20,000 a month and child support payments. She's chilling. The next girl, baby mama, was the famous musician called Grimes. There we go. None of you ladies know, which makes me a little...
I didn't know her name.
She was a world famous pop star. She's now worth at least $10 million. And she's selling albums. I think she just performed at Coachella. Famous. And now this girl got her third baby. Normal girl, sunglasses. There it is right there.
That's Grimes.
Ready for it, ladies? Here we go.
Drum roll.
You know how much millions these ladies are going to get from Elon Musk? Now he's the richest man in the world.
How many?
Red or green?
Oh.
If Elon approached you to have baby number 13 with him, you would do it. Yes or no? What do you say?
She's asking that question right now.
Go ahead.
What about surrogate? Does that count?
Yes or no? You're having Elon's baby.
Good question,
yes,
Kailey.
Yes.
Nat, you put your finger
You gotta
up.
think it's not just money; it's also IQ.
Nat said yes. Shay no.
Thank you.
Shay's the only one.
Is he
that
Catholic?
Wow.
Nat, you're talking too much when I need a red and green. Holy shit.
Sure.
Shay, are you saying green? So hold it up.
She's like,
Shay, you're the only one that said
These are
red.
Smart kids.
Yeah.
Why red?
Cause I mean,
That's not your
money
type?
ain't even all like.
About IQ.
Money ain't the end all be all. Like, it's great to have. It's
What if it
great.
was just like a baby daddy? Would he be a good option?
baby daddy? I'm trying to be a wife with my husband and family. Like, you know, I don't want to be a baby mom.
You don't want to be a baby mama. You want to be married.
A mother, a wife.
Look at that answer right there, guys.
Yeah, I don't want
Now,
to.
now, why are you half stepping this question?
Just based on, I think, where I'm at. I'm like in a phase of whoever I date next is gonna be my husband, married and kids and stuff like that. So if that was the route I was gonna go and he was gonna be the partner to do it, I think he has certain things in place to handle that.
Who does? Elon Musk?
Yeah. To handle a family and to handle kids.
Yeah.
He's got 12.
Yeah, he's got certain things in place. He's got
space station on the
213
moon.
billion of them, apparently.
It doesn't just come
Okay.
with money though. You have to be.
Yeah,
like,
it comes with a lot. But if you're asking me, like, if I was gonna pick a baby daddy and he was my option, yeah, I guess I'd pick him as a baby daddy.
Why? Because of the money?
Yeah, because of the money. That's what a baby daddy is for. If you're looking for a husband, that's different. You're not looking for just someone's money.
Gotcha.
And support.
Kaylee, you said yes. Why would you want to have baby number 13 with Elon?
Same things she said. He could provide, he could take care of. And then even better, if I could be a surrogate or have a surrogate, either one,
Right.
you know,
Save your
that'd be
body.
even better.
Sarah, you said yes?
Yeah, for the same reasons.
Just the money.
Yeah,
It's fine, guys. Just say it's the money. It's fine.
Yeah.
Dina?
I mean, yeah, I did the husband thing already. I did all of that. So I'm good. Do we want to have a big... Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll have the most expensive Hawk Tuah on earth.
Yeah.
Why is nobody mentioning genetics, though? I mean, like, I definitely
Exactly.
get them.
High IQ.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to...
Yeah.
He's not a bad-looking man. Your
that's
kids
what
are
girls
going to be
worried about, the genetics.
attractive.
They want the money.
Your
No,
kid is going
genetics
to
are biological
generational
imperative.
wealth.
Genetics
Comes
are-
with generational wealth.
Resources and genetics are biological imperative.
Exactly.
What he said.
And like you would know your kid would have like such a good life. They would be so smart. They would be extremely well educated. Like they would
They
be
would have resources.
They would
Yeah.
like, that and like they would be. How do you like fostered down into the SpaceX company? Like all these companies, like they would be set up for life, like and for generations and generations and generations to
Yeah.
come. Like
Yeah.
so, it's like what more could you ask for your child?
Okay.
Exactly.
Can babies
Smart
really be born
investment.
I want
smart?
to have a conversation about how comfortable you would be with being a stepmom, not even necessarily for Elon Musk. What would it take for you to be to do a step be a stepmom for someone else? Meaning, all right, if all things are remaining equal, you would probably not want to be a stepmom. You'd rather be a mom or whatever it is, right? What would a guy have to have for you to be like, all right, I'll stepmom this thing?
For me,
is it money? Is it looks? Is it genetics? What's the most important thing?
For me to date someone or settle down with someone that has kids, the most important thing to me would be how is the relationship between the ex-wife or baby mom, if they weren't ever married or whatever, like how is that relationship going? Because I've seen some where like, you know, a new woman comes in or something and they're developing a relationship and like the ex-wife is just like extremely problematic or mean or doesn't want the kid to like then be around the dad because she doesn't want it around the new wife. Like, so it would just really depend, like, are they healthy co-parents and could we like coexist and have a strong relationship and have a family dynamic? Like, I would never want to try and take over and cross the boundary and like pretend to be like I'm the mom of, but like my stepdad raised me. My stepdad and my dad had like a very healthy relationship always, and there was always respect there, which was like nice. So I could do it in that scenario, but if it was like a chaotic mess, I wouldn't want to be involved.
You ever dated a dude with kids?
No, I have not.
Has anyone ever dated a dude with kids?
I dated one guy, but they would have to have two things for me: values and boundaries. Those are my two things that a man with a child would have to have, is have obviously similar values as me, because family is something that I value very much. But also having that level of boundaries of also know when to also check me of addressing their child. What's that level of, hey, I'm okay with you checking my child this way? Because that's also an aspect of it. You know, I grew up in a family where I had both my parents, and then I lost my dad, and then my mom remarried, and there was certain level of boundaries that my dad even put into place that my mom was, you know, doing that he didn't agree with. So it's also having somebody who's able to put their foot down when needed, and keep separate of the separate relationships that now you've come together with a blended family.
So you dated a guy with kids. You ever dated a guy with kids?
Not that I know of.
Neither of you guys? Brandon, you ever dated a girl with kids?
Hell no.
No?
No, that's crazy.
Not for you?
My kid doesn't count.
Yeah, I've tried to do that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You tried to?
If I was a guy,
if I'm going to date a girl with kids, she has to be like
insane.
Like
what
top
would
notch.
she have to bring? Like, what would that look like?
Pampers, evidently. She canceled on a couple dates. I mean, we hung out a few times. Once she starts canceling on dates because the kid is sick, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, like I feel like for me,
you cancel on a date because you're sick, or we can't get together because something happened to you. Now, Scotty, I got to worry about
It's
Scotty.
her offspring.
I haven't even met Scotty
blow
yet.
your nose and go to bed, Scotty.
That's fine.
I feel like the age
Mommy's gotta go Hawk Tuah.
Yeah, mom's supposed to be Hawk Tuah right now. But anyway, speaking of kids, we're going to have a quick conversation about kids before we wrap up. Elon Musk, while he's trying to repopulate the planet, you know, he actually clearly loves having kids. So
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, and he's going to keep going. Here's this video right now encouraging you guys to all have kids. By the way, I'm taking these words as advice because I'm going to go out and start doing my part is what I'm talking about.
Repopulating the planet.
Once I find my...
You about to say raw
Once I
dogging?
find Mrs. Hawk, we'll figure it out. Here's Elon talking about kids. Go
He's
ahead.
wearing his shirt like you.
I do wear my shirt like that.
Dude, they're awesome. Kids are awesome, by the way. You guys should all have kids. Kids are great.
How much do you see them?
I don't see them enough, actually. But what I find is that I'm able to be with them and still be on email because I don't need like constant interaction except when we're talking directly. So I find I can be with them and still be, you know, working at the same time. But
Wait, are you saying you can do email while you're with your children?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Anyway, when you're Elon Musk, you could what is called allocate time and have assistants and duplicate yourself. That's all good. But here's the other thing. You know how much it costs to raise a kid from 0 to 18? Do you know how much it is? Brandon, you probably know what it is. Don't say it.
It's like at least $1 million.
400,000.
How much? $1 million? How much you think?
I think I heard that.
At least $500,000.
$500,000?
800,000.
800,000?
Did they go to college or not?
400?
True that.
Brandon, what's the answer?
But not everyone's
I know it
parents
used to
pay
be
for their
700, but I
college.
imagine it went up with inflation the last few years.
No, guys, 0 to 18, it costs $250,000 to raise a kid. You guys
No
think it's
way.
that it's $1 million?
I heard that from
No.
someone
that's
somewhere.
like, I feel like that's
sometime.
giving your kid the bare minimum.
$250,000?
I swear to you, I feel like that's giving your kid the bare minimum. I've wasted $7,000 in just volleyball this year.
Childcare is like $40,000 a year.
You know,
we add those numbers.
But you're
Are
not
you
paying,
sure?
You're not paying
Are those
40
from the early
back up.
2000s?
You're not doing childcare when your kids past
12,
6 years old, 8 years old. What do you mean? Childcare?
after babysitter.
Google, guys,
you're leaving.
They know how to
guys,
do stuff.
you're arguing with the facts here. Whatever it is, kids are expensive. By the way, it's $250,000. Maybe it's gone up since inflation. It's not $1 million from 0 to 18. I promise you that. Regardless, it is expensive. Alejandra, you can check it. But there's people basically saying, I don't even know if I want to have kids because it's so expensive. Before you do that, let's pull this article up, Alejandra. Have you heard of this term called Dinks?
Dinks?
You heard of Dinks?
No. The
Couples are breaking the Dink label. It stands for dual income, no kids. And they're basically saying, listen, you work and I work, and then we can both work and have more money and no kids.
Dickwads.
Yes, there are other terms out there, exactly, to help figure out how to have more money when you're putting together your family. There's dinkwads, which
and Dinos.
Yes, dinkwads stands for dual income, no kids with a dog. Dinkwads.
That's still a baby.
There's Dinos, dual income, no offspring, same thing as Dinks. There's Sinks. Single income, no kids.
Oh shit!
That's just me, motherfucker. Like,
Literally.
That's just a regular person.
Help!
That's just a regular person. So the rise of Dinks signifies a social shift in societal attitudes towards child-free lifestyles. Sinks. You're just a person with no kids. Sinks.
Yeah.
Here's some other terms. By the way, no kids equals more savings and the higher likelihood to become millionaires. Here's some other terms. There's meeks, married with kids. There's moweeks. You're married, your husband works, and the wife takes care of the kids.
What is that one?
Traditional.
Married, husband works, and wife takes care of the kids. Weeks.
Weeks.
Okay. Then there's a whole nother thing. There's NEETs, which is not employed and no education or training.
Damn.
But that's a whole nother thing.
That's worse than sin.
So I want to know, ladies, you probably might not remember all these different monikers and all this alliteration right here. But what's your ideal relationship? You got Dinks, you got Sinks, you got
Dinkwads.
You got, what was it called?
Dinos.
You got Dinos.
Mobile Winks.
What's your ideal relationship? Go ahead. You can go first.
Me?
Kailey.
Cool. I think like my ideal relationship would be to maybe have kids, like if we're both like, you know, in the financial place, because that's something I don't ever want my children to like deal with, because like, you know, scarcity or like any sort of mindset that's gonna like affect like how they grow up. So, you know, but I'm so on the fence too about having kids. Like I feel like my mom almost at this age, she had us at 30. Like I'm literally turning 28 next week. So like cancers. But you know, like it's just kind of weird. Like now, like in my age, like I just changed a job. Like, you know, like there is some stability, but I'm not like in a healthy relationship.
What age would you want to have kids by?
I don't know.
Latest.
Well,
Latest.
Don't think, okay. Yes, maybe. It's tough. I don't even want to think that because I want to like have a healthy relationship, like a strong relationship to play a factor into like when I want to have kids.
Gotcha.
Like obviously, like naturally, like I can't have kids like super late. Maybe like 36. I don't know.
So right now you'd be a dink. You want to have a dual income, no kids. You're dinking it up.
Dual income.
Dual income, no kids. I'm not sure if she wants that many kids. You're sinking it up over here, single by yourself. Okay. You're a Sikh. Single income, one kid.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that would be me.
There you go.
I don't know, because remember, we've had this discussion before. Like, I don't consider myself a single mom. I'm just a mom because she has a dad, you know? So my situation is kind of a little different in that sense. Like, the relationship I would want to look for is either the person has to already have kids that are grown, because I don't want to do little kids anymore, or, I mean, that's pretty much it, because a man our age is gonna want kids, right? And I'm kind of done. Like, you know, like I have an adult.
You're done.
So you need, like,
I'm not trying to start all over again.
Okay,
you know.
There it is, right there. Sarah, What's your ideal situation?
What was it?
You want a dink? You want a sink? You want a?
I think it was the Winks one.
Yeah.
The man works and I take care of the kids.
Yes, you're a Mwa week. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
By the way, I made that up, just right there.
Oh.
Married, the husband works, and the wife takes care of the kids. Weeks. That's what you want to be, no?
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon.
Uh-oh.
What do you want to be? You want to be a dink? You want to be a twink? You want to be a
man?
You want to be a kink?
Yeah.
You got a kink? You got a BBW? What's your situation?
Oh my God.
I want like 10 kids and I don't want my wife to work.
You want an Elon?
You want your wife to work?
No, I don't want my wife to work.
You want one wife, or you want how many baby mamas with those 10 kids?
You want a Nick Cannon?
It could go either way.
You want like different looking kids? Brown, white, Asian, tall.
The United Nations of babies.
What's your choice? You want to have one wife? You want to have?
Now, why are you asking? What are you syncing up over there?
No, I'm just curious. When people say, "Yeah, I want 10 kids from one woman,"
yeah.
No, I mean he definitely.
That's a good point.
He definitely has a
Yeah.
sick situation, but you know,
It's easy to say I want 10 kids before you've had a kid. I mean, you don't start with one. Like I have a goal to have 2.
10 coming out.
But you
one
want 10
woman?
coming out of one woman, one.
Listen, the Mormons do it.
Wow.
I mean, also men have 10 kids split up. I want an Asian baby. I want a black baby. I want a white baby.
They get designer babies now?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, they can.
Shit.
Go to
Okay.
just
So
travel
Brandon wants
country
to
to
be
country.
the provider and have a woman just pregnant literally every single year. We had our friend, what's our friend? We won't say his name, but remember the Russian Ukrainian friends we hung out with? He was one of 13.
Yes.
Damn.
Said his mom was pregnant every
the time.
single year. You know
Imagine
what I'm talking
just
about.
being pregnant. And
You know what I want? I thought about this.
Yeah, it seems
What?
exhausting.
I want a shrink.
What is that?
I don't know. I just thought it was a chick. She's a shrink.
You
She's
want
like a therapist, who
yeah.
doesn't shrink my hairline or doesn't shrink my bank account.
She just talked to us.
She just Hawk Tuah, just shrinking all day.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I think Elon Musk is absolutely right. We've had a decline in children, and people need to start embracing not the dinks. It's having kids, because kids are the great. I'm at the point in my life where I definitely had all the fun. I've done all that, and now it's time to kind of get busy Hawk Tuahing and having some kids.
Well, and real quick,
Start
too,
cooking.
the government.
That's it. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Last thing.
Yes.
Here it is. There is a debate that's taken place between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It's about to happen.
Does Joe know?
Joe, does Joe know?
Oh no!
We did it, Joe.
Good
It's
question.
a great question. So we don't know if he knows, but we're about to find out literally tonight what happens with this debate. You know that Biden has basically been preparing, just hunkering down all week, preparing for this debate. Trump's like, shit, fucking debate. I'm going to get a little Hawk Tuah from Melania and just let this thing go.
Oh, no.
So there's a situation going on right now. Here's what's going on. Biden won the coin flip.
Of course he did.
And he chose the right side of the podium,
course
giving
he did.
Trump the last word. It's almost like a football game. It's been gamified over here. He chose the right side of the podium. Trump gets to speak last. It's the first debate of the 2024 presidential election cycle.
Oh, yeah.
President Biden aims to present himself as a steady leader.
Oh wait.
There it is. And Trump as an agent of chaos, focusing on Trump's role in overturning Roe versus Wade. We got the ladies here. And his vows, quote unquote, to be a dictator. Trump seeks to make the debate a referendum on Biden's presidency, particularly handling of the economy and his competence. Trump, avoiding the traditional prep, has instead been discussing themes with senators and advisors, aiming to highlight Biden's age and perceived failures. The debate will be moderated by CNN's Dana Bash and Jake Tapper, and they will have 2 strict rules. Here it is. There's a 2-minute answer, so that if you don't, answer it in 2 minutes, they get to give you a little buzzer, and then the mic will go off when it's not your turn to speak. So, if you were voting today, who would you be voting for, or who would you be voting against? Shay, who's got your vote as of today?
I don't do politics, but mystery box. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Can I just?
You can say Obama. You want Obama?
My fellow Americans. Yeah, I'll take them.
She wants Obama. Would you vote for Michelle Obama or Donald Trump?
Michelle.
She's a man, by the
Go
way.
woman.
You would vote for
She's
Michelle.
not a woman.
Brandon.
Allegedly.
Oh my god.
But what's your number one issue of why you would be voting? How about that? Forget about a candidate. Like when you go to a lot of people say it's the economy. Some people say it's immigration. Some people say it's abortion. There's a whole host of issues. Is it the guns? Is it the healthcare? Everyone has, whether it's the culture wars or economic issues, everyone is entitled to vote to what matters to them. What issue matters most to you?
The economy, I guess.
The economy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you just said go women.
I was good.
All right.
I don't do politics.
I forgot.
Sarah, what issue matters the most to you?
I'm voting for Trump. No ifs, ands, or
She
buts.
said fuck the issues.
Fuck the issues. But our economy, I mean, he's just steam plowed the economy to shit over the last 4 years. So we got to take the country back.
So you're voting for Trump. Dina, we know that you're voting for Trump. What's your number one issue?
I'm not voting this election.
You're not voting at all?
No, I've voted every election since I've turned 18. I'm 39 now, and this is the first election that I am holding my vote.
You're just not. What? Tell us why. Because you made fun of Biden as he doesn't even know there's a debate, but at the same time,
like him
you're not
saying
even willing
he's
to
a
vote for
steady
Trump?
leader is crazy because all they have to do is play the tape with him falling down the stairs, right? So it's wild. And then I just feel like it's a setup. Like I don't believe in the sanctity of our government anymore. Like after the whole like Trump, just the indictment itself was crazy to me. Like, you know, I mean, we've had years and years and years of presidents doing illegal things, and now all of a sudden we care.
So let me ask you, but
you
how
know?
does not voting help your situation?
It doesn't. I'm just being stubborn. But, you know, it's kind of like I just feel like I don't want to be backed into a corner where I have to choose between the lesser of two evils. I'd just rather not pick.
Can't you vote for someone else? An RFK or a Cornell West?
I
or
mean,
a
you
Jill
could,
Stein
but what
or
good
a-
is that going to do? Like,
Take it
let's
away
be
from the
honest.
others.
Like, you know what I mean?
So you'd
Like,
rather not vote than vote for somebody that you agree the most with?
Yeah.
So you'd rather not do anything than waste your vote?
Participate, yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Okay, Kailey, what's your number one issue and who you're most likely to vote for?
Probably the economy too. But honestly, like I am not like super invested in politics, if we're being completely honest here. I think my biggest concern, they both like have like good and bad to them, but like Biden at his big age will probably not make his whole presidency. Like truly, like if he were to, you know,
do it again,
get selected. So and especially with his health declining too, like that would be something I would be concerned about. And like who would back him up, like Camilla or like whoever, like, you know, where do they stand? Like, how do you feel about that person? Because it's probably inevitable that.
Would you
know,
vote for
he's done.
Kamala or Donald Trump?
Probably her. But
Yeah.
honestly, to be completely fair, like I said, I'm not like super invested in politics. Like to make a sound vote, I would really want to like do more research.
But guys, you don't have to be super, super invested in politics to vote. By the way, do you watch the Super Bowl every year?
No.
You don't? But everyone watches Super Bowl. You don't have to be
Sure.
super, super. You've never watched Super Bowl, Kaylee?
I have. The
Stop it. You don't have to be super into
Halftime.
football. By the way, you don't have to be super into politics to vote. You just have to care about your own life and figure out which candidate actually matches your interests the most. But you said you would vote for more Kamala than Trump. So you're not a Trump fan.
I'm so.
By the way, there's no shame in the
I
game. It's
know.
all good.
I'm like literally so in the middle.
Okay.
Like there's pros and cons to both, you know. So
Here's
I
what you
can't-
do. Just Hawk Tuah and just figure out who the
Sounds
hell it is.
great. We'll do it.
Just
Okay.
Hawk Tuah on the ballot. See where
There it is.
see where it lands
See where it
closest
is.
to. And
Okay,
check it out.
Nat, I know that you were an Obama fan. Now you're more of a Trump fan. What's your number one issue?
The economy. I think that's a big issue to a lot of the other issues, to be honest. And I
Yeah.
think, you know, Trump is maybe not the sweetest of men out there, but he knows how to get the job done. And if someone's going to be in that position, I'd rather have someone that knows how to get the job done. That's maybe not the most loved, but knows how to make sure everything gets done for the best of the people.
Great point. Great
So.
point right there. W Nat. Brandon, I already know who you're voting for, but give a message to maybe people who are undecided of, hey, listen, this is play devil's advocate. Hey, if you're undecided about Biden, maybe this is why you should consider him. And the same thing for Trump. Take off your MAGA hat and actually just talk to the independent voter out there of what each candidacy could potentially look like.
Yeah, so let's say you wanted to vote for Trump. Maybe a reason you would do that is because right now, on average, the average person has $5,000 less of disposable income left with themselves per year than they did in 2020 because of the amount that food and gas and housing has gone up. So that's a financial thing. there's an extra 7 million illegal immigrants in the country right now. A lot of them are criminals and potentially terrorists. Our government is letting people who rape women and murder them off without any type of serious charge and not deporting them from the country after they've entered illegally. And there's 3 major wars going on right now that were completely avoidable. Russia, Israel, and then now Russia's aligning with North Korea. So from domestic crime to economy and foreign wars, those are all things that would make me want to vote for Trump. If I wanted to convince somebody to vote for Biden, I would say that if you hate America and want to see it burn to the ground, go ahead and vote for Biden, because just look up globalism and what globalism wants to be and how they want to make us a one-world government by eroding America. So go ahead and vote for Biden if you hate America and want to have a one-world government.
Okay.
So just real quick, who are you voting for?
I'm voting for Trump.
I was kidding, bro. Obviously. All good.
Who are
anyway.
you voting for?
Yeah.
We know who you
Appreciate
voted for
that.
last
Well,
time.
here's what I would like to see.
Former Biden.
And this kind of addresses Dina and Kailey a little bit. There's something out there called the double hater election, where this is in the first time in decades, America is just so over the 2 options that you have. And I understand that, because there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, Biden, are you freaking kidding me? And then they're like, oh my God, Trump's still here. There's a lot of people that feel that way. The people that move the voting situation in the country are not the people who are already vote blue no matter who, or it's Trump all the way, MAGA till I die. I get that. Those people are going to do that. You're not going to change their mind. My message to the people out there who are like, yeah, I don't really know. I kind of hate both of them. I don't know. Or like Dina, where she's like, yeah, I'm just not even voting. Yeah. What I would tell you is this. Find out what matters the most to you from a policy perspective, whether it's the economy, whether it's abortion, whether it's immigration, whether it's guns, whether it's healthcare. Find out what matters most to you. Be selfish. It's totally okay to be selfish. And then find the candidate that aligns the most with what matters to you, whoever it is. Doesn't matter to me. Now, they say that's the economy, stupid. We all know that Trump is crushing Biden in terms of who's more likely to help the economy.
How about crime?
But crime, immigration, the border, that's what they're talking about. But there's a lot of women out there. This is why I have women on the panel, because it's not just a man's world. There's a lot of women. Women get life. A lot of women vote for the Democrats because of Roe versus Wade. It is a thing. So you have to ask yourself, if you're watching, what means most to you? I already kind of know where my audience is. But at the same time, I'll say this. Because the double hater situation out there is, give RFK a shot. Give this man a look. I don't know if he's going to be on the debate stage. He's probably not going to be. He's actually not going to be. Nope. But will he be on future debate stages? I think in this country right now, the binary political system of it's Republican or Democrats, that's it, is actually killing us. Because we go every 4 to 8 years, we go crazy to this person, bipolar to this person, we go this person. I'd like to see RFK in the mix. With that being said, I've learned in my last 4 years of sitting next to PBD, put personality aside and vote based on policy. Because if you vote based on personality, you're there's not a lot of they're not pleasing you out there. So, but do yourself a favor, watch the debates, pay attention to who to vote for, pay attention to the election. It's important. It's your country. God bless America. That's it right there. Yes. Guys, we did it. We Hawk Tuah this entire episode.
Spat on that thing.
With that being said, everyone has a chance to look into the camera and tell people where to find you. Hawk Tuah this thing. Kailey, go ahead.
Like what? Social media? Yeah. Don't
tell
find
people
me.
where to find you. Yeah.
Don't find me.
Don't find me.
Not like in a bad way, but no, Instagram, I guess. K18 Yates. That's me.
There she is, Dina.
Instagram, TikTok, D.NU3Hs, YouTube, Twitter, everything else. It's D_NU3Hs.
Sarah, my homegirl.
Hello. You can find my personal Instagram and TikTok at Sarah Elizabeth Wilt, and you can find my social media agency if you are looking for social media or content creation services at Clicks Digital, spelled CLIQX Digital.
Yeah. Alejandra, ¿cómo se dice? Hawk Tuah.
Actúa, yeah. Actúa.
Kind of like that from her.
Tell the people where to find you.
Oh my God. I'm not a celebrity, but social media, yeah. My Instagram, Alejandra Jiminez J.
I thought you were just gonna say you can find me on social media. That's it.
Next time we have to put my Instagram in the description. Then if you want them to.
We put it.
Let's talk to the people. It sounds like you got a little upset. Shay, the lovely Shay.
Shay Butter, Instagram.
Shay Butter. Brandon, our newest favorite guest.
Yay.
Go ahead.
Brandon Aceto on all social medias.
You're next.
I'm next. Natalya Dellvalle, all social media, Instagram, connect me if you have questions. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you all for joining us for today's episode. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, do all those fun things. And appreciate you guys joining us today.
That's it. Every Tuesday and Thursday here at Valuetainment. It's the SOSCAST, baby. Thanks for being a part of it. We're out.
It's the SOSCAST, baby.